Do I hear 5 wins in a row for San Luis Obispo? Well, the Blues are the hottest team in the CCL right now, and they look to reach that number today against the Walnut Creek Crawdads to finish out this homestand at Sinsheimer Stadium on a Mimosa Sunday as we welcome you back inside the broadcast booth. Nate Mills alongside Ryan Giacomini on the call for you today. This is the Ancient Owl pregame show on the SLO Blues Streaming Network, and as I just mentioned, it is a Mimosa Sunday. Ryan and the rest of the intern staff here with the Blues are dressed up pretty similar to a mimosa. It's our tradition here for 2 p.m. games to wear those yellow shirts, and Ryan's rocking one here today. All right, so the Blues yesterday get a very clean, tidy, and maybe you could call it boring if you're a cynic, win against the Walnut Creek Crawdads 1-0 in the fastest game of the summer, just taking 2 hours and 17 minutes to defeat their foes in the CCL North, and that playoff spot is well within reach.
Yeah, I mean, it was a quick and tidy game, like you mentioned, not a lot of offense on either side. The Blues had 4 hits, the Crawdads had 7, and pitching for the Blues was just able to limit the Crawdads offensively, and one run was enough for yesterday's game.
When you said yesterday for the pregame show, Ryan, that the key to yesterday's game was that pitching is something that you can feed off of. That offense certainly did that. Ryan Featherston was our dog of the day yesterday. The former Oregon Duck made his 3rd start, went 6 innings of work, 5 hits, no earned runs, no walks, and 6 strikeouts. He looked great today, and on the mound this afternoon was going to be Bryce Johnson from Oregon State. But after experiencing some discomfort in his throwing arm, he was a late scratch, and now it'll be Charlie Ferris. So again, the Blues are looking for a really nice outing here for Ferris against the Dads.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Dean Traynor does today. Ferris has been a bullpen arm all summer. He's made 2 appearances, both out of the bullpen. So it'll be interesting to see how long does Ferris go. Is it 2 innings? Is it 3? Is he going to stretch it? Maybe is it a pitch limit, 70 pitches or whatever? So it'll be interesting to see what the Blues do. They are kind of limited on arms, but it was a nice day yesterday having to just use 2 pitchers. Give some arms some rest, so maybe some more availability out of the bullpen today.
It was just Featherston and Marcotte yesterday for the Blues. That's all they needed through 9 innings. And for Ferris, as Ryan said, mostly a bullpen arm. He's making his 1st start of the season. He has 2 other appearances for San Luis Obispo. He was more of a late addition for this roster. And in 5 1/3 innings of work, has 4 walks, 4 strikeouts, and has allowed 1 earned run on 3 hits. Still kind of a smaller sample size. We'll get a lot more data today against the Walnut Creek Crawdads. But that's what the pitching looks like for the Blues and Charlie Ferris. And on the opposite side, it's Dylan McShane, the big, tall right-hander who might be the tallest player in the CCL getting the start for the Dads.
Yeah, I mean, the Warriors need a power forward, man. He's 6'9", 235. That's a tall pitcher out there, which means his stuff is going to come from a really high angle, especially if he's over the top. And he's going to give you a 3-pitch mix, fastball, slider, changeup. Blues just got to be ready to hit the ball hard. They didn't do it much yesterday, so shook up the lineup a little bit today. Some new bats in the lineup.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Blues are hunting win number 5, and it's a completely different look than what we've seen throughout the rest of the summer. E.J. Royal has essentially been a shoo-in to that leadoff spot playing center field. He is not in today's lineup. Donovan Jordan, who will be leaving the Blues tomorrow, is not in the lineup either. He has committed to the University of Missouri, but injuries that he sustained during this past season at Texas have been nagging him a little bit lately, and that's kind of a big reason why he's leaving this roster too. So Don Jordan's last day not playing, E.J. Royal getting the day off. Instead it's Diego Murillo leading it off for San Luis Obispo, and Andrew Raymond plays in center with Sebastian Lopez batting second. That's the highest that Seabass has ever batted on this Blues roster.
Yeah, it's definitely a big shakeup. You've got a bunch of guys like Suzuki, Caruso, Raymond, and Constantine, who didn't play yesterday, who are playing today. And it's kind of an interesting thing because you're on a 4-game winning streak, but yesterday the offense didn't really produce, only 4 hits. So the offense or the team has been rolling. Yesterday it wasn't clicking. So do you switch it up? Do you keep it consistent? Dean Traynor decides to switch it up. Now we got a new 9 out there for the Blues today.
So the Blues try to make it 5 in a row and finish out an undefeated homestand at Sinsheimer Stadium. Nate Mills and Ryan Giacomini on the call for you today. Thanks for listening to the Ancient Owl pregame show on the SLO Blues Streaming Network. We'll see you guys in a bit.
kindly stand if you are able. Remove your hats as Jamie Canelli sings our national anthem. Jamie?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed, and the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Jamie Canelli, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Jamie. And on this Saturday
Hum Sunday at Sinsheimer Stadium. The Blues trying to go undefeated in this 5-game homestand. They got the Walnut Creek Crawdads in their way. They defeated the Dads yesterday by a score of 1-0. That was the quickest game of the summer for the Blues, and they look to snag another one today on this beautiful, beautiful Sunday afternoon at Sinsheimer. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Dads. Trey Johnson is the center fielder leading off, with Jared Medham playing short and batting second. Joey Donnelly, the right fielder, bats third, with Brandon Clisby catching and batting fourth. John Ewens is the first baseman batting fifth, and batting sixth, it's Ryan Ellis playing in left. Batting seventh, it's Cam Calvillo DHing as Chris Esquivel bats eighth and plays second base. Nico DeFazio rounds it out in the ninth spot, and he will play at the hot corner for the Walnut Creek Crawdads. Now let's look at the defensive alignment for the San Luis Obispo Blues. Charlie Caruso throws down the signs behind home plate, with Sebastian Lopez playing at first. Gavin Constantine plays second, and Sam Artois is at third. Diego Murillo at shortstop, Kosei Suzuki in right, Andrew Raymond in center, and Gavin Smith in left, with Zach Tellerman DHing for the Blues. And on the mound for San Luis Obispo, a late scratch for Bryce Johnson, so it'll be Charlie Ferris making his first start this summer.
He's been solid. He's a guy who he's going to induce a lot of soft contact, but he does have issues with the walks. 4 strikes, 4 walks, and 5 1/3 innings, so has to figure out how to pound the zone today. Crawdad team is coming off back-to-back losses, and including a game yesterday where they recorded just 5 hits in 9 innings. So just have to pound the zone, make these Crawdads hitters work.
This is game number 26 for Walnut Creek and game number 33 overall for the Blues. Walnut Creek riding a 2-game losing streak into this one, and the Blues have won 4 in a row. They are 6-16. They are 16-6 at home and 13-11 in conference play. The way that the standings look right now is that the Walnut Creek Crawdads are half a game outside of first place, because a lot of different teams have played a lot of different amounts of games. The standings are a little wonky right now. So the Stompers are in third place in the CCL North, but they are technically in first place because the Dads are half a game out. So technically, Merchants and the Stompers are in first. The Blues a game and a half outside of first place right now. So the leadoff man for the Dads, it's Trey Johnson playing center field today. Walnut Creek wearing charcoal jerseys with light gray pants trimmed in black and red. The Blues wearing their bright yellow banana tops and hats. From the windup, here's the first pitch from Ferris. It swung on and fouled straight back at 2:03 p.m. Game time temperature 72 degrees in sunny on the Central Coast. Ferris steps back on the rubber. The Stephen F. Austin commit dealing to Trey Johnson from Skyline Community College. The 0-1. Johnson takes an off-speed inside. A ball and a strike to Trey. Johnson is a native of Walnut Creek and has known about the Crawdads for his entire life. Coach Cummings, the manager for the Dads, knew Trey's dad growing up, and they'd come to batting practice and games all the time. Here's a half swing, sending it straight back into the netting for strike 2. 1-2 count to Johnson. who's been hanging out with this Crawdads organization since he was in high school, a graduate of Berkeley High School. That's where Zach Tullerman went. Here's the 1-2. And it's taken low and inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Trey. Tullerman today for the Blues is DHing, still dealing with some back issues. He was hit by a pitch yesterday in that area, so I'm glad to see him in the lineup today. Here's a 2-2. Johnson with a slow roller to second. Constantine sizes it up, throws it over to first in time. First down of the ball game is a ground ball out from Trey Johnson.
It's all Ferris needs to do all day. Just pound the strike zone, make these hitters work, and good things will most likely happen. The Crawdads with a very different looking lineup as well today after just 5 hits and no runs yesterday.
Here's former Blue Jared Medham. Saw brief action with San Luis Obispo last year. Only played in 5 games. Very short life in 2024. Now playing summer baseball a little closer to home. Half Moon Bay, California is where he's from. Medham takes the first pitch low and outside for ball 1. And even closer to Walnut Creek, specifically Monte Vista High School, where the dads play their home games, is Moraga, California, where Medham attends college at St. Mary's. Jared takes it high and inside, 2 balls and no strikes. Yesterday, Medham went 1 for 4, a single in the 6th, a fly ball out, a ground ball out, and a strikeout looking. Fell victim to Ryan Featherston twice, which was a very common thing to happen yesterday. 2-0, popping the leather on the fastball down the heart of the plate. 2 balls and 1 strike to the shortstop, Medham. And Featherston, 6 innings of work, 5 hits, no runs, 1 walk and 6 strikeouts. The former Oregon Duck was dealing. Now it's Ferris in the 2-1 with 1 out. Medham takes high, 3 balls and a strike now.
Another big thing for the Blues pitching staff yesterday was they only gave up 1 walk. That is huge if they want to win today's game, not to give up walks.
And this is a team that walks a lot. Walnut Creek top 4 in walks in the entire CCL. 3-1's a high bouncing ball to short. Murillo gets it on a big hop, throws it to first. Lopez picks it out of the dirt. Nice play for the second out of the first inning.
That was not an easy play on either end. That ball took a wicked hop. Murillo had to jump up as high as he could, and then Lopez in a full stretch just had to swipe at that one and get the pick out of the dirt for the second out.
Yeah, Lopez has had an interesting journey over the first base. We talked about a little bit yesterday, but primarily a middle infielder. But this past season, to get more playing time on that Red Hawk roster at Seattle University, had to play more first and was in a heated battle at that position. Back and forth all season for the Red Hawks. First pitch low and inside to Joey Donnelly for ball 1. And he looks pretty comfortable over there as a primary shortstop, second baseman, middle infielder. That looked natural over there at first. Not an easy play to make. So here's Donnelly in the 1-0 count with an open stance, hitching in the left-handed batter's box. Joey scooches out of the way of a pitch inside. Now it's 2-0 to Donnelly. The right fielder bats third today for the Dads. Yesterday he went 1 for 4. A single in the first, 2 lineouts to left, and a strikeout swinging. The 2-0. Donnelly takes it and a called strike. Ferris hits the upper half of the zone, and a 2-1 count to Joey. Donnelly in the transfer portal after a career at Cal Berkeley, where he played outfield for the Golden Bears. 2-1, not missing by much inside, moves the count to 3 balls and a strike now to Joey. No stranger to the CCL. In 2024, played for the Arroyo Saints. A good slash line, 327, 425, and 495. It's pretty good. With 2 outs, the 3-1. Donnelly takes it inside, and that's ball 4. A 2-out walk issued from Charlie Ferris puts a runner on first.
And not exactly what you want to do. You gave up just 1 walk yesterday. Now you've already given up 1 in today's game. And now you have a guy who can hit the ball pretty well coming up, Clisby, with his .314 average.
So Zach Justice was the catcher last night for the Crawdads. Now today it's Brandon Clisby, a New Mexico State commit and a graduate from Monte Vista High School, where the Crawdads play their home games. First pitch, Clisby takes it inside, 1-0. Graduated from Monte Vista, appeared in 44 games at the varsity level. and a batting average just below 400 at 397. His senior year, he played in 27 games and had a 455 average. Drove in 33 with his 46 hits. Clisby takes low and outside. 2 balls and no strikes to the catcher.
Got to find the strike zone right here if you're Ferris. Allowed 2 soft contact ground balls. See if you can get some more soft contact out of Clisby.
Conservative lead at first base for Joey Donnelly as Ferris comes set from the stretch. Here it comes, and it almost hits the shoulder of Clisby, and I think it did get him. Hit by pitch with 2 outs. 2 runners on now for the Dads, 1 via a walk and 1 hit by pitch from Ferris. Well, Ryan, you talked about the importance of strike throwing today, and with 2 outs, Ferris has walked a batter and hit 1, and putting 2 on base when all Ferris needs to do is collect 1 more out, just extends that inning a little bit longer. He has to throw more pitches.
Yeah, just trying to get out of this inning now. You got to battle 2 on, 2 out.
Trying to battle against John Ewens, the first baseman, batting 5th. Ewens led off yesterday for Walnut Creek and went 1 for 3 with a couple of Ks and a hit by pitch. John takes the first pitch curveball in the outer half, and it's a called strike. Ewens is a Bear from Baylor. A lefty with runners on first and second in the top of the first inning at Sinsheimer Stadium. The 0-1. Ewens takes a fastball and a called strike, 0-2. Ewens has struck out 16 times this summer in 66 at-bats. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Charlie Ferris gets out of the jam as he delivers Ewens his 17th K of the summer. Hit by pitch and a walk, runner stranded at first and second. We head into the bottom half of the first on the Slow Blues streaming network. Charlie Ferris escapes the jam in the top half of the first inning. We're scoreless heading into the bottom half of the frame. The Blues are up. It's a new look lineup for Dean Trainer. Let's check it out. Diego Murillo leads it off and played shortstop. Sebastian Lopez bats second. He'll play first with Kosei Suzuki in right and batting third. Batting fourth, it's the DH Zach Tollerman, and batting fifth, it's the left fielder Gavin Smith. Charlie Caruso, the left-handed hitting catcher, will bat sixth, with Andrew Raymond, the center fielder, batting seventh. Sam Artois will play third and bat eighth, as the 9-hole hitter is Gavin Constantine playing second base. Here's a defensive alignment for the Walnut Creek Crawdads. Clisby behind the dish with John Ewens at first, Esquivel at second with Nico DeFazio at third, and Jared Medham at short. The outfield left to right is Ellis, Johnson, and Donnelly. On the mound for the Dads, it's the right-handed pitcher Dylan McShane, 6'9", wouldn't want to meet him underneath the paint, wouldn't want to meet him at the batter's box either.
He's a guy, 3-pitch mix, fastball, changeup, slider. Gonna see a heavy fastball, good run. But yeah, big guy up there, and former basketball player. No thank you. I'm 6'2". I'm not coming around the rim on you. I'm just gonna stick to middies and threes.
McShane is making his fourth start of the summer for Walnut Creek, and an 11 innings pitch has allowed 6 earned runs on 5 hits 8 walks to his 11 strikeouts. So leading it off for the Blues, it's the shortstop, Diego Murillo. From the windup, here's the first pitch. McShane delivers it low and outside, and that's ball 1 to Murillo. The second baseman batted 7th today. Gets a big jump in the lineup with Dean Traynor as he leads it off for the Blues. 0 for 1 day with a pair of walks. Here's the 1-0. Diego leaves it high and tight, 2 balls and no strikes. 4 walks yesterday issued to Blues batters, and Murillo had 2 of them. The other 2 went to Sebastian Lopez, who stands on deck for the Blues. Here's the 2-0. Murillo sent it straight back for strike 1, a fastball that he was just a little late on from McShane. This summer, Diego is batting .254 with a .392 on base and a .305 slugging. Murillo flinches on a pitch that misses inside, 3 balls and 1 strike. 15 hits in his 59 tries. 3 of them for extra bases, they're all doubles. Infield playing at regular depth as the 3-1 is a called strike, and it fills up the count 3-2. Murillo starting in his 19th game this summer, appearing in his 20th. The payoff. Murillo dribbles it foul down the left side. We'll do it again at 3-2. Blues are playing in their 33rd game of 2025. They actually earned win number 20 last night in 1-0 fashion against the Dads. They are now 20-12. Slider misses outside and a leadoff walk to Murillo. Ill-advised and can come back to haunt you. It brings up Sebastian Lopez, who also walked twice yesterday.
Yeah, a couple of walks last night, and then his start before that, 2 starts before that, excuse me. He had 2 walks and a hit by pitch as well as 2 singles. So Murillo's kind of just been an on-base machine for the Blues recently.
Here's Lopez, a recently converted first baseman who made a nice play on defense in the top half of this inning, picking a ball at that spot. First pitch misses outside, and that's ball 1 to Seabass. The first baseman, Lopez, is having a bit of a slow start to this summer. 1 for his 11. Only played in 7 games as he takes outside. Snap back throw to first. Murillo with the head first dive is in there safely. Still kind of a small size for Sebastian. And only 2 hits last summer for the Blues. He's got more action towards the end of the season when the Blues are making that playoff push. Here's a 2-0. Lopez takes it low, and 3 straight balls to Seabass. Lopez has 3 walks on the summer in his 15 plate appearances. The 3-0. Lopez takes all the way, and that's ball 4. A 4-pitch walk to Sebastian Lopez puts 2 runners on in the bottom of the first. And Ryan, we were talking about this lineup construction, and a big reason Seabass is in that spot today is because of his ability to get on base.
Yeah, you mentioned a slow start at the plate with only 1 hit and 11 at-bats, but he's a guy who's been drawing a lot of walks this year, which is different from last year, so the Blues will take it. 333 on base coming into today's game, and it just went up.
So here's Kosei Suzuki now, with a runner at second and 1 at first. Middle infield playing at double play depth. The third baseman, DeFazio, is pinching on the grass. 1 look at second, here it comes. Kosei takes the first offering, a slider outside, 1-0. And so far, McShane has been missing away to these right-handed batters with that sweeper, starting it at the middle of the plate and then breaking out. Suzuki chops it down the third base line, and it'll be a foul ball. So Murillo will head back to second base, and Sebastian Lopez back to first. Suzuki standing in the middle of the right-handed batter's box with an opportunity to strike first against the Dads in the bottom of the first inning. Look at second, the 1-1. Kosei takes low and outside for ball 2. And if you're a Slocal, something cool kind of just happened. All-Star selection show, and Brian Wu is an AL All-Star, a Cal Poly alum.
That fastball is gross.
Oh, This beautiful day, all can think about is his fastball. Suzuki takes low and outside. 3 balls and a strike now. It's funny, his career at Cal Poly, Brian Woo's that is, was something to forget. But a scout saw something in him, and once he was playing professional baseball, just flipped a switch. 3-1. Kosei pokes it the opposite way, high in the air, but it'll be foul and out of play for strike 2. Never was a Blue, played in the Alaskan Summer League for a couple of seasons. Here's Kosei with a full count, no outs, and 2 runners on. Suzuki off the hands, hits it to the shortstop, met him. They'll go to second for 1, and the Dads turn the double play. Murillo advances to third, but now 2 outs following the ground ball DP from Kosei Suzuki in the first.
And not much you could do right there if you're Kosei Suzuki. That ball's hit 95 miles an hour and right into the glove of Medham, a tailor-made double play. But at least it puts the leading run in 90 feet away from scoring with ZT up.
And Zach Tellerman has been seeing the baseball really well in 2025. He had a good day yesterday, too. A 2-for-3 day with a double and a single. He scored the one and only run for the Blues yesterday. Tellerman takes the first pitch high, and that's ball 1. Diego Murillo shuffles off third base, and he is that aforementioned go-ahead run. Tellerman with a 1040 OPS. Pops it up to the right side. Shallow right, the second baseman Ellis comes out, calls everyone off, and makes the running grab to retire the side. The Blues strand a runner in scoring position. It's still a scoreless ball game as we head into the second inning on the SLO Blues streaming network. Ryan Ellis leads it off for the Walnut Creek Crawdads in the top half of the second inning. A scoreless affair between the Dads and the Blues. It's Ellis, Calvillo, and Esquivel against Charlie Ferris, today's starting pitcher for the Blues. From the windup, first pitch misses low and inside, 1-0. And some new recruiting news. The relief pitcher who came in yesterday for the Blues, Riley Marcotte, left-hander, has just committed to the University of New Orleans. Congrats to Marcotte, 1-0. It's hit off the hands and out of the stadium for strike 1.
That got to be a pretty good day for Marcotte. You throw 3 scoreless innings, and the next day you commit to play some college baseball in New Orleans.
University of New Orleans, Ryan?
Privateers.
That a baby. Here's the 1-1. Slider, and it's lined into the Walnut Creek dugout for strike 2. Staying in the state of Louisiana. Marcotte was formerly a Lafayette Raging Cajun. Here's the 1-2 to Ryan Ellis. Off the hands, it's popped up and out of play. We'll do it again on 1-2. State of Louisiana, I've talked about their cuisine frequently. I've talked about it a lot with Sam Ardois, who's a Louisiana native and also went to Louisiana Lafayette. And seafood boil is a bucket list item for me in terms of food I'd like to try. Here's the 1-2. And it's taken on the outside corner, strike 3. Ryan Ellis sits down looking. First out of the second inning and the second K of the day for Charlie Ferris.
Charlie's starting to turn it around. Back-to-back strikeouts now. It's exactly what he needs to do. Just keep pounding it.
So here's Cam Calvillo, the DH batting 7th for the Dads. Calvillo is a long-time Crawdad. With an open batting stance, he takes the first pitch slider for strike 1. A Castro Valley, California native. He's a rising senior at CSUN. As he chops it the opposite way, Constantine gobbles it up and throws it over to first for the second out of the inning. 2 quick ones for Ferris as it brings up Chris Esquivel. Esquivel is a utility man from San Diego, a graduate of La Jolla Country Day. A former Torero from the University of San Diego and a former Gale from St. Mary's. That's where he just spent this past season in 2025. He has since entered the transfer portal. The first pitch, Esquivel takes low and outside, and that's ball 1. Hasn't committed anywhere yet, but is garnering a lot of Division II interest, so we hear. With 2 outs, the middle of the infield is wide open. Here's the 1-0. And he leaves it upstairs, 2 balls and no strikes to Esquivel. Batted south of 200 this past season with the Gales. With no walks and no extra base hits. He went 2 of 13. Here's a 2-0. Misses high, 3 straight balls from Ferris. Wind blowing from right to left as Esquivel digs in on the 3-0. Here it comes. Fastball hitting the outer half, and that's strike 1 to Chris. Esquivel this season is 9 of 43. 3-1. And that's a called strike on the upper half of the zone, and now a full count, 3-2.
And Esquivel did not think so. He threw that bat, started to unvelcro his gloves.
Here's the payoff. Slider, and it's taken downstairs for ball 4. 2-out walk issued from Charlie Ferris and a base runner in the second inning.
It's just tough to come back down at 3-0. You're probably going to get me over fastball, but then you still are in a hitter's count for another pitch. And right there, Esquivel just able to draw a 2-out walk. Now you got to find the strike zone once more against DeFazio.
Here's the Oakland, California native, Nico DeFazio. He's a Houston Baptist commit. Committed there just a couple of days ago. With 2 outs, the first pitch, DeFazio takes low and inside, ball 1. This is a tough one, Ryan. Houston Baptist. It's not what you would think for the Houston area. It is a cold climate creature, I would say. Don't overcomplicate it. The 1-0. DeFazio moves his hands over a pitch inside, 2-0.
Don't overcomplicate it. Makes me think like polar bear or penguin.
Not the big names of a polar climate, like an animal that prefers the cold, I should say.
Ooh, okay. Let me think.
It's a pretty common one, animal. The 2-0, hit off the hands and dribbled into the Dad's dugout for strike 1. You can own this animal as a pet. It's domesticated. Prefers the cold. Not an exotic animal. Very common.
Whoa.
2-1. And that hits him in the shoulder blade. A walk and a hit by pitch. Pretty similar look to the bottom of the top of the first for Charlie Ferris. He got 2 quick outs and then a walk and a hit by pitch right after that. If history repeats itself, then he's going to finish it off with a strikeout to Trey Johnson.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of deja vu right there. That one up in the same area, too. Hit by pitch to Clisby was up around the helmet. That one off the shoulder.
You would take this animal for a walk.
What?
Yeah.
So it's some sort of like dog?
Yeah, it's a type of dog.
A dog that prefer? Oh, a Huskies.
Yes.
I mean, you pretty much handed it to me on a silver platter.
First pitch to the leadoff man, Johnson. Is taken outside, 1-0.
I don't even remember the college anymore.
Houston Baptist.
Houston Baptist Huskies.
That is where DeFazio is committed, and now he's at first base. So it's the leadoff man, Johnson, who is at Skyline right now with the Trojans. Misses high, 1-0. Johnson grounded out to second to begin this ball game in the first. 0 for 1 day. Didn't see any action yesterday against the Blues. Now playing center field and batting leadoff for Walnut Creek. He's got Esquivel at second and DeFazio at first. Scoreless affair in the top of the second. From the stretch, a look at second. No one holding on the runner. Now comes home, and the foul ball is sent into the fence behind home plate for strike 1. Johnson this past season with the Trojans at Skyline batted .331, a .461 on base, and a slugging just around .500. Here's the 2-1, taken up and away, 3 balls and a strike now. Those numbers kind of reflect, if you were to say, if someone had a good season, what percentage would those 3 metrics be? I'd say, well, the average should be around 300, the on base should be above 400, and the slugging should be around 500. That's exactly what Johnson did. 3-1. Trey takes a low and inside, and that's ball 4. Bases crammed with Crawdads as Dean Traynor comes out to talk to his right-hander Ferris.
He's just really struggling with that command after recording 2 strikeouts and a ground out, a walk, a hit by pitch, and another walk. Dean Traynor out there. Got to figure out what's going on with Ferris. Got to get back to the basics. Just throw strikes, get out of this inning.
There's no one getting loose in the Blues bullpen right now, although a yellow jersey has just exited the tent behind the rubber. And we might see an arm getting loose here soon, but Traynor stands in, talking on the mound. 2 base runners in scoring position, converging over at third. Going over what the move is when on a ball in play. It should be relatively simple with 2 outs. Crack of the bat, bases loaded, you're going no matter what. Swing of the bat, you're going no matter what. And with 2 outs, Charlie Ferris is in a bases loaded jam. Esquivel walked, he's at third. DeFazio is at second, he was hit by a pitch. And Trey Johnson stands at first, he walked as well. So now it's Jared Medham, who grounded out to Diego Murillo at shortstop the last time he was up. Medham yesterday had 1 hit. He had one of the 5 hits that the Crawdads hit yesterday. Stands pretty far away from home plate in the batter's box as he takes the first offering for a called strike, going 1. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Here's the 0-1 to Medham. Jared takes low and outside, a ball and a strike now. Looks like that's Spencer Gallimore getting loose in the Blues bullpen. We've never seen him this early on. Coming out of the pen for Dean Traynor. With 2 outs, the 1-1. Medham sent it straight back, and now strike 2 to Jarrett.
Now you kind of have a pitch right here you can nibble with. He's had issues commanding the zone, commanding his pitches. Up 2-1, you can nibble here, and then you have to attack.
Ferris has got some pitches to play with against Medham, who twitches in the batter's box, trying to drive in the first runs of the day. 1-1-2. Slider missing low and outside, and Medham spits on it for ball 2. Joey Donnelly stands on deck. He walked today. Ferris has walked 3 batters in total with his 2 strikeouts. Here's the 2-2. Slider missing low, 3 balls and 2 strikes now. And the nibbling is over now for Charlie Ferris. Now this has got to be his best pitch.
And it needs to be a strike.
Medham's ready as Ferris comes set. Here's the payoff. Swing and a looper into right. Suzuki has a beat on it, and he makes the grab as he loses his cap. Dads strand the bases loaded. It's still scoreless heading into the bottom half of the second inning on the SLO Blues streaming network. Bottom of the second is brought to you by SLO County Golf. They offer 3 locations in SLO, Morro Bay, and Atascadero, and they also offer a unique combination of affordability and beautiful scenery. Book your next tee time now at slowcountygolf.com. I'll see you all tomorrow at Chalk Mountain. New pitcher for the Walnut Creek Crawdads. It's Carson Timothy as Gavin Smith, the leadoff man, swings and misses for strike 1. Timothy making his 5th appearance of the summer for the Dads. Has a 1.08 ERA and an 8 1/3 innings pitch, 12 Ks and just 2 walks. Skipper low and outside, and a 1-1 count to Gavin Smith, who bats 5th today for the Blues. Timothy, a former Gaucho from UCSB, now committed to play for the Hornets at Sac State. The 1-1. Smith hits a slow roller to third. DeFazio's got it, and he'll flick it over to first. It's almost too high for Ewens. He keeps his toe on the bag and makes the grab for the first out of the second inning.
A little too nonchalant there almost.
So here's the left-handed hitting catcher, Charlie Caruso, with 1 out. Batting 6th today for the Blues. We expected him to see a little bit more time as the DH after those bats that Ryan and I have talked about left. Mason Ashlock being one of them, Brennan Comerford leaving, and Don Jordan. This is his last day on the Central Coast. Not in today's game, dealing with an injury. First pitch, Caruso takes it low, 1-0. Charlie's playing in his 9th game of the summer. 3 hits in his 22 tries for the Blues. One of them a triple at this field that hit the Earth System sign and right. The 1-0. Caruso waves and misses for strike 1. Charlie's a Wildcat from Northwestern who redshirted his first season in Chicago this past year. A beautiful campus, Northwestern. 1-1. Charlie flinches on an offering that misses low and outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. From the windup, here's the pitch. Caruso almost hit by the offering inside and now moves to 3-1 on Caruso. Last time Charlie played, it was against the Arroyo Seco Saints, where the Blues won 4-1. Charlie takes slow and outside, and that's ball 4. 1 out walk in the second inning. That's the 3rd walk of the day for the Blues.
It's a good way to start this inning, especially when you look at the next 2 people you got up, Andrew Raymond and Sam Ardois, both guys who can bang the ball with multiple extra base hits in recent memory.
Raymond with 2 doubles and a triple. Ardois with 5 doubles, 2 homers and a triple. Andrew is 7 of 34 this summer as he waves and misses at the first pitch changeup for strike 1. He bats 7th today and plays center field for San Luis Obispo. He's an outfielder from Santa Clara and a native of Spokane, Washington. The 0-1, swings and misses. Add another combio for strike 2. Runner on first, it's Charlie Caruso who walked. The 0-2, misses upstairs, well above the eye level of Raymond for ball 1. And
balk.
It is a balk on the pitcher, Timothy. I couldn't see that. Sometimes a balk is sometimes one of those things where you just know it when you see it, and I think I might have missed something there. Time is called at the plate, making sure the count is correct on the scoreboard. It's 0-2 to Raymond.
Yeah, because of the balk, the pitch does not count, which is why the count is 0-2 and not 1-2.
So now a runner in scoring position for Raymond. It's Caruso at second. With 1 out, a peek at second, now delivers. Drew takes low, 1-2. Left-hander, a big, tall left-hander, digging in that box. Here's the 1-2. Andrew chases the high fastball for strike 3. With a runner in scoring position, there's now 2 outs for the third baseman, Sam Ardois.
Just chasing some chocolate mousse upstairs. And Raymond in a big spot for the Blues to take the lead. Goes down swinging, but now it's up to Ardois.
Here's Sammy, starting in his 20th game of the summer. Usually a shortstop playing in the hot corner today at third. A .286 batting average, a .310 on base, and a .449 slugging. Ardois takes a slider low and outside, 1-0. 10 runs batted in this summer on his 22 hits. And I mentioned briefly his extra base hits on the year too. He's definitely beefed up those slugging numbers from 2024 with the Cajuns and with the Blues. Off speed, and there's a called strike to Ardois, 1-1. 5 doubles, a triple, and 2 bombs for Sam. The righty has a runner in scoring position. The 1-1 is swung on and missed for strike 2.
91 miles an hour, right at the letters. It's a hard pitch for Ardois to lay off of, but he was just behind it.
Infield shifted to the pull side of the right-handed hitter, Sam, as he chokes up on his bat. Here's the 1-2. Ardois swings and misses on the slider for strike 3. Blues strand a runner in scoring position, and Charlie Caruso on back-to-back strikeouts. We head into the third inning scoreless on the SLO Blues streaming network. 3-4-5, 2 up for the Walnut Creek Crawdads. A scoreless ball game in the top half of the third inning. Charlie Ferris is back out there to face the left and hitting Joey Donnelly, who takes strike one on the outer edge. 0-1 to the right fielder, batting third and hitting left-handed for the Dads. From the windup, here's Ferris on the 0-1, and Donnelly hits it off the hands, foul in front of the Blues bullpen for strike two. Charlie Ferris now in the driver's seat against the right fielder Donnelly. Ferris has had a couple of innings now, back-to-back frames as a matter of fact, where he got two quick first outs, and then the Crawdads extended the inning with hit by pitches and walks. Donnelly sends this one to center field. Raymond makes an adjustment and makes the running grab to his right for the first out of the third.
Gets the first out there on a fastball. All action has subsided in the Blues bullpen, but Gallimore still stands on the bullpen rubber.
Now squatting on that bullpen mound, which is a new renovation at Sinsheimer this summer. It looks so much better this year compared to last. The righty bat and Brandon Clisby swings and fouls it out of play for strike one.
Yeah, some nice turf, and then the mound was fully redone, and it has a nice surface. Blues players have done a good job keeping it very nice as well.
Here's the 0-1. Clisby takes all the way on a slider that he takes for strike two. Yeah, nice turf area in front of the hill. Very well manicured too, some new clay. The 0-2. Clisby chops it at home plate. It rolls in front. Caruso, the catcher, fires it over to first, and it's in time to get Clisby for the second out of the third inning. So now here's the next step for Ferris. Finish the inning.
I was just going to say, if this inning's going to follow suit to the first and second, we're getting a walk and then a hit by pitch in the next two batters. But hopefully Ferris can not make that happen against John Ewens, who's probably one of the better hitters in this lineup today.
Well, Ewens finished out the first inning with the strikeout swinging after a hit by pitch and a walk. Takes the first pitch slider here, and it's a called strike. Got 3 walks today issued from Ferris and 2 hit by pitches as well. Yet, the Dads have not cashed any of those runs in. There's the 0-1. Ewens takes high and even counted a ball and a strike. Both teams are hitless through 2 innings so far.
Yeah, there's been 8 total base runners and no hits.
The 1-1. Ewens takes it low. 2 balls and a strike. Here's a 2-1. Ewens takes it just off the plate outside, and now a 3-ball and 1 strike count to the first baseman Ewens. The lefty sits down in his stance in the 3-1. Off the hands as he fouls it into the screen for strike 2. A Waco, Texas native at 6'3", 210 pounds. Redshirted in 2024 due to an injury at Baylor. Saw minimal time last season with the Bears. Here's the payoff with 2 outs. Swing and a high pop up to center field. Suzuki is underneath it, and he'll make the grab to retire the side. Nice clean 3-up, 3-down inning for Charlie Ferris. As we head into the bottom half of the third, we're still scoreless at Sinsheimer on the Slow Blues streaming network. Bottom of the third inning at Sinsheimer Stadium. Both teams still looking for their first hit in this contest. A scoreless ball game between the Dads and the Blues. 9-1-2 due up for San Luis Obispo. Gavin Constantine leads it off and takes strike one against the new pitcher Cody Perry, a right-handed hurler from Claremont McKenna College, a native of Green Bay, California, entering his senior season. Middle of the infield wide open as Constantine rocks a new pair of batting gloves. Gavin hits it off the hands, and it's a high pop-up down the left field line, and it won't be playable for the third baseman, DeFazio. 0-2 now to today's second baseman, Gavin Constantine. Cody Perry, the new pitcher, is making his 6th appearance of the summer. A 4.35 earned run average, has pitched in 10 1/3 innings, 9 strikeouts and 3 walks. The 0-2. Constantine swings and misses here. Make that 10 strikeouts for Cody Perry on the summer. 3 Blues batters in a row have gone down by way of the K, and we'll flip it to the top of the order in Diego Murillo. Murillo walked to begin the bottom half of the first inning. He walked 2 of the 4 total walks in yesterday's lineup for the Blues. It's a slow roller off the hands, and Medem dives, but he can't get there. First base hit of the day for the Blues, and it comes in the bottom half of the third inning.
First base hit of the game, period, for both teams. And we've already seen 25 batters.
So Murillo is aboard, and it's Sebastian Lopez, who has 1 hit on the summer. A young summer for Seabass, though. Only 11 at-bats so far. First pitch, Lopez takes it low and outside. Ball kicks away from Clisby, and Murillo's in at second base easily. Wild pitch puts a runner in scoring position for the Blues. The catcher Clisby and the pitcher Perry trying to get on the same page there. Looked like Clisby might have gotten crossed up on that offering. That's why he kicked away from the pitcher and awarded Murillo second base. So here's Seabass with a runner at second. Infield slightly shifted to the righty's pull side. Here's the 1-0. Lopez, a wild swing and a miss on a sweeper for strike one. Lopez steps back in, readjusting after the big hack. Blues just hit the first single of the day. Diego Murillo stands at second base following a wild pitch. His time is called at home. Lopez, a Henderson, Nevada native, entering his 3rd season at Seattle University. A 1-1. Sebastian, another swing and a miss on an off-speed here for strike 2. This past year with the Red Hawks in 2025, drove in 8 runs on his 16 hits. Perry comes set from the stretch. From the belt, checks second twice and delivers. Seabass takes high. 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Lopez.
It's a good take and a 2-strike count. Did not miss by much, but Lopez spat on it right away.
Sebastian playing in his 2nd year in San Luis Obispo. Played in 9 games last year for the Blues and had 31 at-bats. Drove in 1 run in that time. Here's the 2-2. Lopez takes low and outside. This one gets away from Clisby, and Murillo advances to third. Takes a turn around the bag and will stay there. It's a full count to Sebastian Lopez after another wild pitch from Cody Perry.
Now the approach has to change here a little bit in the 2-strike count. You've got to choke up on the barrel, and you're trying to lift the ball in the outfield.
Outfield playing shallow, except for Ellis, the left fielder. It's the center fielder Johnson and the right fielder Donnelly who have taken a few steps in. Infield playing halfway on the dirt. 3-2. Sebastian takes low and outside, and that's ball 4. Again, that's the strategy for Dean Traynor and this staff as to why they put Lopez in that 2 spot today. It's because he gets on base, to quote Moneyball. And it's working. 2 walks today, puts runners at the corners for Kosei Suzuki.
It's a big spot for Kosei, who has been known this summer and is pretty limited action to be a guy who can drive in runs.
Well, Kosei today grounded into a double play. Trying to avoid that here, as that is in order with one out and a runner on first. Suzuki takes the first pitch on the outer half for strike one. Lopez is on first. Murillo's at third. Murillo collected the first base hit of the entire day and reached third on a pair of wild pitches. Cody Perry's the new pitcher for the Crawdads. Here's the 0-1. Suzuki dribbles it foul. Now a 2-strike count to Kosei. Suzuki has driven in 12 this summer on his 13 hits. 6 for extra bases, 5 doubles and a triple. Of the hitters that are left, he's tied for first in doubles. The 0-2. Kosei pops it up off the hands. The left and center fielder converge. It will be Johnson who's got it. Murillo bluffs home. The throw comes in, but both runners stay at their stations. Unproductive out for Kosei Suzuki. He couldn't hit that one deep enough, and there's 2 gone in the third.
I just got a little too far in on the hands. A fastball with some run on it. Kosei just weakly hit it into center field, and thank God Murillo didn't go. He would have been out by a mile.
Throw was a little up the line too, so it would have cut off Murillo coming down the base path. So here's Zach Tellerman, a big, tall, right-handed first baseman from San Jose State, with Lopez at first and Murillo at third. Scoreless game, and the first offering is a called strike, 0-1. Tellerman has driven in 10 with his .588 slugging, 2 bombs, a 3-bagger, and 3 doubles. 19 hits in his 51 at-bats heading into today's game. Lopez heads towards second. The throw is pump faked, and it will not leave the hand of Clisby. Stolen base for Sebastian Lopez puts 2 in scoring position for the Blues with 2 outs.
Lopez didn't get a great jump, so it's a good thing they didn't throw it down. He kind of slipped trying to take off for second.
So now Lopez at second and Murillo at third. Scoreless game in the bottom of the third inning. Tellerman trying to strike first for the Blues. The 1-1. Taken low and outside. Nice block by Clisby behind home plate. 2 balls and a strike.
And Clisby just single-handedly kept this a 0-0 ball game.
Uncharacteristic so far for Cody Perry. Entering today's game, had only issued 3 walks in his 10 1/3. Already has 1 today, and it was to Sebastian Lopez, and he's been pretty wild so far. Here's the 2-1. Slider misses up and away, and now a 3-1 count to Tellerman. Well in the driver's seat against Cody Perry. Perry pitched in 1 inning against the San Francisco Seagulls 5 days ago, allowed 2 earned runs on 2 hits. Here's the 3-1. Tellerman with a 75% swing moves into a 3-2 count. Lopez at second, Murillo at third. 0-0 in the third inning. And Tellerman in a full count with 2 outs. Long hold from Perry, and he steps off. Perry stands back on and gets ready from the stretch. Murillo leads off third. Lopez already well off second base. Here's the payoff. Tellerman takes outside, and that's ball 4. Perry had 3 walks entering today's game. He already has 2 in 1 inning. Here's Gavin Smith with the bases loaded now. And really a good chance to put a scar on the scoreboard for the Dads.
And as I mentioned in yesterday's game, Gavin Smith has excelled this season with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. He's in another one of those situations right now.
First pitch, Smith takes a slider, and it's a called strike, 0-1. Bases bloated with Blues. Bottom of the third inning, 0-1 count to Gavin Smith with 2 outs. Blues trying to put up the first score of this game. Here it comes. Smith takes it low and outside. A changeup that misses below the zone. And an even 1-1 count to Gavin Smith, the left fielder batting 5th.
Just doesn't want to come inside to Smith. That's where, if you get the ball up in on his hands, that's where Smith, he can do some damage.
The 1-1. Smith is late on a fastball as he pops it up and out of the stadium for strike 2. Gavin has 15 RBIs on the summer. That leads the team with hitters that are left. Comerford used to be the leader with 21. Now it's Gavin Smith with his 15. Perry comes set from the stretch. 1-2. Smith chases a high fastball for strike 3, and the Blues strand the bases loaded. Another 50% swing from the Blues offense, and we're still scoreless heading into the 4th on the SLO Blues streaming network. Six, 7, 8 due up for the Walnut Creek Crawdads in the top half of the 4th inning. A scoreless ball game. The first hit between both teams was just recorded off the bat of Diego Murillo, and he was stranded at third base. The Blues couldn't cash in with the bases loaded. So it's Charlie Ferris back out there to face the Dads, and he misses on an offering up and away to Ryan Ellis, who struck out looking to begin the 2nd inning.
The Blues today are 0 for with runners in scoring position.
Here's the 1-0, and Ellis takes a called strike, 1-1.
More specifically, 0 for 6 with a walk.
There hasn't been too many opportunities with runners on base yet today. Scoreless game, 1-1, and Ellis sends it straight back, and now a 2-strike count to Ryan Ellis. Ellis is 0 for 1 today. Yesterday he was 0 for 4. 3 fly ball outs and an unassisted putout at first base in the top half of the 9th inning. From the windup, here's Ferris. He strides and shoots. Slider is hit off the hands and to the second baseman, Constantine, who gets it on a funky hop and throws it over to first for the first out of the 4th.
Gav's done a good job over there. He's got a couple of weird hops, 3 ground balls so far, and he's executed every single time. The Blues are coming off a game where they recorded 0 errors last night. Actually, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe back-to-back games with 0
errors. That's right, yes.
First time all season that's happened, and they're 4-2 in those games.
No surprises there. You play clean baseball, you're going to win a lot of games. Cam Calvillo takes strike 1 against Charlie Ferris. And the defense has been a lot cleaner as of late. taking their time fielding these ground balls, not trying to do too much, and the throwing errors have been minimalized as well. Here's the 0-1. Calvillo pops it up to the right and into the Blues bullpen, out of play for strike 2.
And I think that's big for the Blues. This season, they don't have a ton of big strikeout guys outside of, maybe a couple of arms. So they're going to rely on some weak contact and their defense doing a good job. And yesterday, I think that gave Featherston a ton of confidence.
Here's the 0-2. Calvillo weakly hits it to shallow right, and that bleeds for a base hit. 1-out single for the Crawdads in the 4th inning.
And that's one you can live with. A weak pop-up that drops down behind your first baseman's head, and an 0-2 count. You threw a good pitch. You got soft contact. It was just in a perfect spot for Calvillo.
That's still a frustrating one, though, because if you're going to get a base hit for the first time today off a starting pitcher, it would feel a lot better if it was a 102-mile-an-hour single right up the middle. But if you're Ferris, it's a little bit more frustrating if it's a blooper right. So with 1 out and a runner on first, it's Chris Esquivel, who ducks beneath a fastball high, 1-0. Esquivel walked the last time he was up in the second and was eventually stranded at third base in a bases-loaded situation where Medham popped out to right to end the inning. Pick over to first, and the runner Calvillo is back in time. Esquivel in the transfer portal after playing 2 seasons at St. Mary's and 1 at University of San Diego, a regular in the West Coast Conference. Here's the 1-0. Fastball is popped in the air to right. Suzuki comes in. He'll make the catch coming towards the infield for out number 2. 2 outs, a runner on first, and it's Nico DeFazio, the 9-hole hitter for the Dads. He was hit by a pitch in the 2nd inning. DeFazio, a Houston Baptist commit. He spent his first season of college baseball at the University of the Pacific with the Tigers. Now at Chabot, and we'll head to the Lone Star State this fall. Pick over to first. Calvillo's back in time. There's an insane alumni network at the University of Pacific. You know who briefly coached football there back when they had football before the 90s?
Who?
Their tight ends coordinator? John Gruden. Shoots it the opposite way, and Constantine dives, throws it from his seat. He pump fakes, now throws it to third. Here's the tag. Got him! Gavin Constantine goes across the diamond, and Ardois slaps down the tag to retire Calvillo. Still scoreless heading into the bottom of the 4th inning. Brought to you by Educational Employees Credit Union. New pitcher for the Walnut Creek Crawdads in an inning brought to you by Educational Employees Credit Union, conveniently located in Paso Robles. You can also find them at myeecu.org. Experience smarter banking at Educational Employees Credit Union. Charlie Caruso leads it off for the Blues in the bottom half of the fourth. Gavin Constantine just made a great play at second base to retire the side. Here's the 0-1. Caruso takes low and inside. Count now even at 1-1. And there's a new pitcher for Walnut Creek, Noah Zirkle, a right-hander from West Valley College.
The 4-pitch guy, changeup, curveball, fastball, slider, mainly goes to that fastball slider.
The 1-1. Caruso rolls out of the way of a slider inside, 2-1 now.
Fastball is going to sit about 87 miles an hour. Changeup at 80, curveball and slider very similar, around 75 miles an hour. Good spins on those off-speed pitches.
Making his 7th appearance this summer as Caruso takes in the other batter's box, 3 balls and a strike. A 7.71 ERA in 7 innings pitched, 9 walks and 4 strikeouts. Caruso on the 3-1, takes it low, and that's ball 4. Charlie Caruso with a leadoff walk. That's the 6th time the Blues have walked today.
That's something the Blues have not done a lot recently. They've not been walking a ton. Last night they had just 4, and they came by just Murillo and Lopez. But when you look at games prior to that, and against the Arroyo Seco Saints on Thursday on the firework night, they had just 2. And then the day before that, they had 3.
There's one there to Charlie as Raymond takes in the dirt here, and that's ball 1. Charlie, in both of his plate appearances, has reached via the walk. Same goes for Sebastian Lopez, who bats second today. Here's Raymond, who struck out swinging his first at-bat today. He's 0 for 1. Long pause. Here's the 1-0. And Drew almost hit by a pitch inside, 2-0.
When you look at the hot zones of where these pitches are going to come from, Zirkle, tough with the control on the slider and changeup. Hard time finding the zone. Fastball is going to be on the inner part of the plate to lefties, and that curveball is going to hang up there.
The 2-0. Raymond takes it all the way, and it's strike 1.
There's that fastball inside. So to righties, that fastball is going to be away. And now, only thrown 5 curveballs this summer, but 3 of them have ended up hanging and right out over the plate.
Pick over to first. It's bounced over to the bag. Ewens can't get it. And now taken off towards second is Caruso, who will stay put there. An E1 puts Charlie Caruso in scoring position for Andrew Raymond. And Caruso has reached second in both of his plate appearances in unconventional ways. He reached on a walk in the second and then was balked over to scoring position. And now a botched pickoff move from Zirkle, who bounced past it to Ewens, who tried to catch it with his bare hand, puts Caruso at second. So here's Raymond in a 2-1 count with no outs. Drew leaves it low, 3 balls and a strike. Last time Andrew started, it was against the Arroyo Seco Saints on firework night. He hit a triple in the 5th inning and eventually came around to score. Here's the 3-1. Drew leaves it high, and that's ball 4. Another free pass issued from Zirkle. That puts 2 runners on for Sam Ardois.
Both sides struggling with the command. Charlie Ferris has figured it out a little bit, but these Crawdads pitchers in this bullpen game have just really struggled. Each and every single pitcher that they've had, 4 through 4 innings, has at least given up a walk.
On the topic of Ferris, there's still no arm getting loose in the bullpen for the Blues. For someone making their first start of the summer, Dean Traynor has an awfully long leash on Ferris. So here's Sam Ardois with Caruso at second and Raymond at first. The third baseman DeFazio plays in as the first pitch is a slider called strike 0-1. Middle infield playing at double play depth with no outs. As there is a runner on first, if they can get a ground ball from Ardois here, they'll get those 2 outs if they can flip a double play, and they'll be fine putting Caruso at third. Look at second. Now 2, and Zirkle comes home. Ardois leaves a fastball in there for a strike 0-2. Sammy having to clutch up in an 0-2 count. The strikeouts have been problematic for Ardois. 21 in his 87 plate appearances entering today's game. Sam almost hit by a slider inside 1-2. Ardois actually struck out swinging in the second inning in 0 for 1 day. So make that 22 strikeouts on the summer. Gavin Constantine stands on deck for the Blues. He made a great play at second base to end the top half of the fourth. Circle delivers. Ardois pokes it the opposite way and nestles it into right center, a base hit. Caruso rounds third. Raymond follows him. Ardois in at second base. Raymond chugging home. A 2 RBI double for Sam Ardois. Electrifies Sinsheimer Stadium. Blues strike first.
Some aggressive base running pays off for the Blues. Sam Ardois just sliced that thing the other way. And Rene Regalado, we knew he was giving Raymond the green light the whole way.
It took a minute for Drew to get going down the third base line. He typically has more speed than that, but he was chugging to get home. Maybe it was that frozen yogurt he's had last night.
Maybe. And we finally see a leadoff walk that comes back to haunt the Walnut Creek Crawdads. They could not continue to give up leadoff base runners and not have to pay. And Ardois right there doubles the Blues run total from last night.
To be fair, Drew did go from first to home on that, so that is a long way to run. And yes, you're right, Ryan. That's the leadoff walk coming around to score, and Charlie Caruso. Andrew Raymond right behind him. How about Ardois going the opposite way? If you look at his swing in batting practice or just in general, it appears to be a pull side heavy swing. And it looks like he goes there a lot during BP. But where have most of his extra base hits been? The opposite way. Of course, besides his home runs, those were pull side bombs. Ardois puts a green circle in the scorebook, and it's Gavin Constantine. Constantine rocking the baggy tops and the low pants. We don't see that often. First pitch, Gav takes slow and outside, ball 1. Ardois in scoring position at second following that 2 RBI double to make it a 2-0 game over the Crawdads. Now it's Constantine trying to trade places with Sammy. The 1-0. Constantine leaves it low in the dirt, 2 balls and no strikes. Still no outs in the bottom half of the fourth inning. A picturesque day at Sinsheimer Stadium. (2-0). Constantine hits a slow roll to third. Ardois reads it. Now the throw goes over to first. They retire Gav, but Ardois takes off towards third. Textbook base running right there from Sam Ardois.
That was perfect. Now you have a runner on third with 1 out, and the Blues are threatening a sac fly would give him another run. Diego Murillo, he's reached base safely both times today. Could use another one right here.
Slapped the first base hit of the afternoon for San Luis Obispo, and for both sides in the third. Advanced to third on 2 wild pitches. And now he's here with another insurance run at third base. The infield playing in. Everyone's got their toes on the cut of the grass with 1 out and Ardois 90 feet away from scoring. First pitch. He sends it the opposite way, and it nestles in front of the right fielder Donnelly, a base hit. Diego Murillo extends the lead 3-0. (3-0) San Luis Obispo off the bat of Sam Ardois. There's Sebastian Lopez now. He hasn't got many opportunities to put one in play today. He's got a pair of walks, one in the first and one in the third. Would like to at least put something in play here and feel like he's playing baseball. Runner goes, he does. It's a chopper to short, and Medham can't get there. Murillo goes first to third. Sebastian Lopez with a 1-out single.
Sebastian just gets his second hit of the summer. Not a hard hit ball at 61 miles an hour, but it gets the job done, and out comes Cummings.
Hey, the baseball gods rewarded him with those 2 walks. That was always said to me, at least, when I played, and I'd have a pair of walks and go, can I just put something in play, please? Coaches would always go, well, hey, be patient. The baseball gods will come back around and reward you. That's exactly what they just did to Sebastian Lopez. A seeing eye single as the Dads will go to the pen in what is now a 3-0 game. The Blues lead. New pitcher for Walnut Creek. We'll introduce you to him right after this on the SLO Blues streaming network. Kosei Suzuki will be the first to face the new right-hander from Santa Barbara City College, Halen Guerrero. The righty coming out of the pen to relieve Noah Zirkle of his duties. Zirkle just went a third of an inning, 3 hits, 2 walks, no strikeouts, runs still to be determined. First pitch, Kosei hits it off the hands into left field. Ellis comes in. Murillo shuffles off third, and he won't tag and score. Way too shallow for Diego to score on that pop-out for Suzuki, and there's 2 gone in the 4th.
It's the second time that Suzuki's had a runner on third with 1 out, and he's sent a fly ball, doing exactly what you got to, just not quite deep enough.
So here's Zach Tolman with runners at the corners. Murillo at third, and Lopez at first. A 3-run inning for the Blues. Sam Ardois drove in 2 with a double. As Tellerman takes outside 1-0.
Definitely one of the guys in today's lineup you want up in an RBI situation.
As today's cleanup hitter, he's 0 for 1 with a pop out to second and a walk. Tellerman hammers it deep to left. He just got underneath it, though, as Ellis can't see it in front of the warning track, and it lands on the warning track. Murillo scores, Lopez scores, Tolman easily at second base with a double that Ellis lost in the sky.
Tolman just underneath that ball, but he sets it high enough that Ellis lost it. I mean, up in the baby blue sky today, not a cloud in the sky, but he turned around, put his head down, and was sprinting to the wall. When he turned back around, just had no idea where it was.
Well, you know what they call that? It's an issue in Arizona during spring training in the Cactus League. They call that the high sky. Because there's nothing in that sky, it's crystal clear today. It makes it seem the sky is actually bigger than it actually is, and it's harder to see the baseball in the outfield. Although, I got to say, I've never seen that here at Sinsheimer before. Here's Gavin Smith, who takes the first pitch low and outside for ball 1. Bad time to have high sky for the left fielder Ellis, as it results in 2 runs for the Blues. Smith swings and misses at a sweeper here for strike 1. So Tollerman with a 2 RBI double. That's the second 2 RBI double of this inning. Now it's Smith with Tollerman at second, and he swings and misses here for strike 2. Charlie Caruso stands on deck. He led off this inning with a walk. Guerrero comes set with Tellerman inching off second base. The 1-2. Smith leaves it just off the plate outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gavin has 20 strikeouts compared to his 7 walks this summer. The 2-2. Smith goes down fishing for strike 3. It's a drop third. They'll throw it over to first, and it's in time. But not before the Blues get 5 runs on 4 hits. 2 RBI doubles for San Luis Obispo. It's now a 5-0 ball game as we head into the 5th on the SLO Blues streaming network. New pitcher for the Blues. It's the right-hander and a mountain lion from UC Colorado Springs, Spencer Gallimore. He replaces Charlie Ferris, who started today's game, his first start in a Blues uniform.
It was a pretty good start. Had a tough time finding the strike zone, but in 4 innings, gives up 2 hits, no runs, walks 3, and strikes out 2.
First pitch is sent into center field. Raymond moves to his right, and in the gap will make the grab on the move for the first out of the inning.
And that's a good start, and I think Blues just scored 5 in the bottom of the 4th, and you could give credit to Gavin Constantine. Makes a good defensive play, and the team was pretty fired up about it, and they go in the dugout, and they start banging balls around the yard.
A 2 RBI double from Sam Ardois, an RBI single from Diego Murillo, and then another 2 RBI double from Zach Tollerman. That was the damage done in that frame. First pitch, and that's a called strike to Jared Medham. Gallimore, a two-way player, delivers from the windup, and Medham shoots it foul over the Blues dugout for strike 2. Spencer is making his 8th appearance of the summer for San Luis Obispo, and in that time he's pitched in 16 innings, allowed 15 hits, 7 runs, only 3 of them earned, 3 walks and 18 strikeouts in those 16 innings. 0-2 misses high, 1-2 now to Medham. That's good for a 1.69 ERA and a 1.13 whip. It's pretty good.
It's really good.
0-1-2. Medham takes high and inside. Even count now at 2-2.
Exactly the guy you want on the mound when the Blues are looking to go perfect in this homestand with a win today.
Gallimore's a competitor as he delivers from the windup. 2-2 just misses off the plate outside, and it's ball 3. I think Medham thought he struck out. He was about to take off his batting gloves and retreat into the dugout, but he'll stay in the box. Payoff pitch with 1 out. Medham pops it up, playable in the infield. The second baseman, Constantine, calls off Lopez, and he'll make the flat-footed grab for the second out of the 5th. 2 gone, and it's Joey Donnelly who's 0 for 1 today. A flyout and a walk for the lefty from Baylor.
7 pitches, 2 outs. That's pretty good thus far. Gallimore just looking to maintain the efficiency and eat up a couple of innings for his team.
And check that Donnelly is a catcher or an outfielder from Cal. He and Nico Button, Blues catcher, came in at the same time to play for the Golden Bears, and they were actually roommates together. And funny enough, they both hit the portal at identical times at Cal Berkeley. But Donnelly came to Berkeley as a catcher and now plays outfield and first base for the Golden Bears, or at least used to. Here's the 0-1. Joey shoots it the opposite way, but sends it into the parking lot and out of play for strike 2.
Well, it's kind of an interesting thing, too, because 2 years ago, Button and Donnelly both played for the Walnut Creek Crawdads, but then last year, Button, after rooming with Donnelly, was like, I'm not going to go play with the Crawdads this year. I'm going to go down to SLO and play with the Blues instead, but Donnelly stayed put.
Here's the 0-2, missing outside 1-2. And a pipeline there for Nico Button playing for San Luis Obispo is his brother Zach, who is a pitcher at Cal Poly, also playing for the Blues. Here's the 1-2. Donnelly leaves it low, and now an even count at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
When did Zach play with the Blues? Was it your first year, 2 years ago?
No, it was before my
okay,
time.
because I was going to say 2 years ago, he played with the Crawdads.
Yeah. 2-2. Ground ball to short. Murillo has got it. Goes over to first, and a 1-2-3 inning for Spencer Gallimore. Spencer faces the minimum, and we're halfway through at Sinsheimer. Blues up 5-0 on the Slow Blues streaming network. Charlie Caruso leads off this inning for the Blues. They're up 5-0 against the Walnut Creek Crawdads. It's Caruso, Raymond, and Ardois due up to face Halen Guerrero. First pitch, Charlie takes a called strike, 0-1. Today, Caruso is 0 for 0, 2 walks in both of his plate appearances, and he reached scoring position in 2 peculiar ways the both times he's been on base today. The 0-1, leaves it outside, 1-1. First time he walked, it was in the second, and he moved 2 second on a balk, was stranded there. And he came around to score in the fourth, to score the first run of the day for the Blues. He reached second on an error by the pitcher on a pickoff move. Then it was Noah Zirkle, who I think got a bad grip on the baseball and spiked it over to first base. Haven't seen too many pickoffs yanked like that. I've seen more pitches come off the mound look like that. Charlie goes the opposite way, off the hands and into the parking lot, out of play for strike 2. Two and two count to Charlie, the Northwestern Wildcat, who redshirted his first season. 2-2. Charlie leaves it outside, and now a full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Today is Caruso Day in the rotation. Part of a 3-man rotation the Blues have between Andrews and Button. Charlie late on another fastball as he sends it into the Crawdads bullpen. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Charlie. The last time it was Caruso Day, that was on July 2nd against the Arroyo Seco Saints. Charlie went 1 for 3 with 2 Ks and a walk. 3-2. Leaves it outside, and another leadoff walk for the Blues. That's the 3rd walk of the day for Charlie Caruso, and his 2nd leadoff walk of the afternoon.
Just seeing the ball really well out of the pitcher's hand today, and Blues will take it. He's acted as a leadoff batter twice this game, in both the 4th and 5th innings, and in the 4th it produced a run.
8 walks for the Blues this game, and for an offense that doesn't really draw that many base on balls, this is a different day for the Blues. Swing and a miss here from Drew Raymond for strike 1.
Good changeup there, pulled the string. I don't think Raymond was expecting a first pitch changeup after giving up a walk.
Andrew 0 for 1 today, a strikeout swinging in the 2nd and a walk in the 4th. Leaves it low and inside, and an even count at 1-1. He and Caruso both scored on the 2 RBI double from Sam Ardois to kick things off in this ball game. Since then, the lead grew by 3 more runs. It's 5-0. Hard ground ball to the right side and into right field. Caruso round second. He'll head to third. The throw comes into the infield. Charlie slides feet first at third. A single for Andrew Raymond, barreled off the bat.
The Blues trying to make another leadoff walk, hurt the Crawdads. This is a good barrel by Raymond to the pull side on the ground, but hit really well through the 4-hole for a base hit.
Caruso was talking about his speed and how it's undermined because he is a catcher, which tends to happen often. But Charlie runs a 6.8 second 60-yard dash, which is above Division I average, and it's the same time that Gavin Constantine runs it in. He stands on deck and is the second baseman. First pitch to Sam Ardois is a called strike. Ardois 1 for 2 today with a pair of RBIs after that double in the 4th. Besides that, he struck out for the 22nd time this summer in the 2nd. He's got another runner in scoring position here in Caruso, and he takes the slider inside 1-1. Raymond stands on first, and Charlie Caruso stands at third. Blues up 5-0 in the bottom half of the 5th inning at Sinsheimer. From the stretch, Raymond goes towards second. The throw goes to the bag, and it's offline. A stolen base for Andrew Raymond puts 2 in scoring position for the Blues. A good jump from Andrew Raymond. Clisby couldn't get it off in time and couldn't get it on line either. So now a chance for Ardois to really break it open. 2-1. Sam leaves it inside, and a 3-ball, 1-strike count to the third baseman, who is uncommitted.
Got himself in a good hitter's count, and he already has 2 RBIs on a double in his last at-bat.
Sammy in the driver's seat with the infield playing in, and he leaves it low, and that's ball 4. Second walk of the inning for Halen Guerrero, and it brings up Gavin Constantine, who is 0 for 2 today. 9th walk of the afternoon for the Blues. Gavin a strikeout swinging and a ground ball out to the third baseman, DeFazio. A chance to break it open. That's a called strike, 0-1.
Constantine just one of two guys in today's order, three guys, excuse me, who haven't got on in this barrage for the Blues.
Here's the pitch, and takes another strike on the outer half, 0-2.
Gonna have to expand the strike zone. That one was a little outside. Caventine waited and didn't swing.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Constantine strikes out on 3 pitches, and that's the first out of the 5th inning.
Constantine's offensive struggles continue. Now it'll be up to Murillo if the Blues want to score some more runs.
The leadoff man, Diego Murillo, is 2 for 2. An RBI single in the 4th and a single in the 3rd to record the first base hit of the afternoon. Walked in his first plate appearance. Low and outside, that's ball 1. Charlie Caruso stands at 3rd. He walked. Andrew Raymond's at 2nd. He singled. And Sam Ardois stands at 1st. He also walked. Here's the 1-0. Diego leaves it outside, and now the driver's seat against Guerrero is Diego Murillo. 2-0 with 1 out. Diego trying to bust it open for the Blues halfway through in this ball game. The 2-0. Murillo leaves it low, and 3 straight balls to the second baseman. Sebastian Lopez stands on deck. Guerrero comes set from the stretch, now strides and shoots. Diego takes all the way for strike 1 in the 3-0 count. Still up against Guerrero. Here's the pitch. Swinging a foul tip at home plate. It gets away from Clisby, and he actually swung on and missed. Caruso at the plate is out. So I thought Diego Murillo foul tipped that pitch. He completely swung and missed. It went off the mid of Clisby, and Caruso tried to take home, and he was out.
And I don't think he was out. I'm pretty sure he got in there safely. Dean Traynor, well, Caruso thought so, and that prompted Dean Traynor to come out and talk to the umpire.
It certainly looked like Charlie was underneath that tag. I think the flip might have been a bang-bang play at the dish, but I absolutely think the catcher Caruso slid underneath Clisby. And Traynor really taking his time out there with the home plate umpire. A passionate discussion. Caruso got in his face briefly as well, but he's now back in the dugout. On that pass ball, both runners advanced a station each. So now Ardois at 2nd and Raymond's at 3rd. So it'll stay a 5-0 ball game as Caruso is thrown out at home. It's still Murillo and a 3-2 count. Two in scoring position. 2 outs. Here it comes. Diego holds up his swing, and actually they'll say he went around for strike 3. Wow. Thought Diego Murillo was able to hold up that swing there, but apparently he didn't. The Blues strand 2 runners in scoring position. It's still a 5-0 game as we head into the 6th inning on the Slow Blues streaming network. Top of the sixth inning here. Blues up 5-0 against the Walnut Creek Crawdads. As Spencer Gallimore heads back out there, and first pitch swinging is Brandon Clisby as Murillo makes an offline throw, but Lopez applies the tag. One pitch, one out here for Spencer Gallimore to begin the sixth. Clisby is 0 for 2 today. That brings up John Ewens, who is also 0 for 2. A strikeout swinging to end the first, and a fly ball to right to end the third. Ferris and Gallimore have only allowed the Dads to collect 2 base knocks today. They both occurred in the fourth. Ewens lines it hard down the right field line, but it'll be foul for strike one. First baseman batting left-handed. Hits fifth in the order for the Dads. They trail by 5 against the Blues. The 0-1, another foul ball to the right, and that's strike 2. Blues had a kind of a weird finish to the fifth. Bases loaded situation. Charlie Caruso tried to score on a pass ball as Ewan sends it the opposite way. Moving to his left is Smith, and at the last second reaches up to make the grab for the second out.
That could have been very bad. Gavin Smith, I think, snow coned it too and reached up. Didn't take the best angle, but able to make the play.
Came hotter off the bat of Ewens than Smith expected, but he was still able to make the catch, and there's 2 quick outs there for Gallimore as Ellis comes in. He's 0 for 2 today with a strikeout and a ground out. So yeah, Caruso tried to score on a pass ball, and the play at the plate, the flip certainly beat Charlie, or it was at least at the same time, but Caruso slid underneath the tag, and after some discussion between Dean Traynor, the manager, and Caruso with a home plate umpire, he was out at home. So the Blues were in a bases loaded situation. 2 walks and a single, filled it up, and they didn't get anything. Calling strike here against Spencer Gallimore. Ryan Ellis is 1-1. Cam Calvillo stands on deck for the Dads. Here's the pitch. Ellis takes in the dirt. 2 balls and a strike now. The top 6 hitters on the Dads this afternoon are hitless. The 2-1 misses inside, and now hitters count even more to Ryan Ellis. 3 balls and a strike. No one getting loose in that Blues pen. Here's the 3-1. Off the hands, and it's a weak pop-up to right. Suzuki plants his feet and will make the grab to retire the side. Gallimore faces the minimum 2 innings in a row. Blues still up 5-0 heading into the bottom half of the frame, which is brought to you by Ancient Owl Beer Garden and Bottle Shop. Bottom of the 6th inning is brought to you by our friends at Ancient Owl Beer Garden and Bottle Shop, conveniently located just down the road from Sinsheimer Stadium. They're your home for the Blues watch party all season long. Visit Ancient Owl Beer Garden to catch every Blues road game. Choose your beer wisely. Sebastian Lopez is first pitch swinging and sending it the opposite way. A foul ball against the new pitcher, Ryan Delaney, here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Delaney, the first left-hander the Blues are dealing with this afternoon. A lot of right-handers in this lineup. Sebastian takes up and away, 1-1. Only 2 lefties in today's lineup, and they bat right after each other. Charlie Caruso bats 6th, and Drew Raymond bats 7th. There's the 1-1. Lopez hits it off the hands, and it's a high pop out to left. Ellis can't find it again, but now sizes it up and makes the grab.
Must be the sun over there maybe too that's causing him to not be able to catch that or find the baseball very easily.
Gavin Smith made a running play to his left the last half inning, and at the last second had to shoot his glove up to make the catch, took a wrong angle. So maybe there are some issues seeing the baseball out in left. Again, I talked about the high sky here at Sinsheimer today. It's Kosei Suzuki with 1 out. He's hitless today with a couple of flyouts and a grounded into a double play. 0-1 here against the new pitcher, Delaney. Suzuki hits it off the end of the bat to short. Medham double pumps and throws it over to first in time to retire Kosei for the 2nd out of the 6th.
That one took a wicked hop off the mound and shot almost directly 90 degrees to the left. First off the bat, I thought that was going to be a base hit back up the middle. Instead, it's a ground out.
Good communication, too, on the left side of the infield also. DeFazio and Medham were both going after that ball and thought they were going to collide for a sec, but Jared did a nice job calling it out the last second. He is the leader of the infield after all. Here's Zach Tellerman, who hit a 2 RBI double in the 4th. Ryan Ellis lost it in the sun, maybe, out and left. A costly mistake as it bounced 50 feet to his right and drove in 2 runs for the Blues. They now stand in with a 5-0 lead as Tellerman hits it off the hands and into the grass awning for strike 2.
You know, looking back at that play from Ellis, one thing I do really like is he knew that ball was hit pretty well. So he backed all the way up to the wall and knew that if it was in front of him and he couldn't see it, he was already going to be able to have his momentum going forward and would stop any extra bases.
The 0-2. Tellerman takes it off the plate outside, a ball and 2 strikes now.
It's a little thing and a play that you should be making, but you lose it in the sky or the sun. But it's a little thing like that that maybe made that a double instead of a triple for Zach Tellerman.
1-2. ZT checks his swing. They appeal to first. He went around. Strike 3 to Zach Tellerman. Ryan Delaney faces the minimum in the bottom of the 6th. Blues up 5-0 against the Dads as they hand it over to Ryan Giacomini, who's got you the rest of the way on the Slow Blues streaming network.
Spencer Gallimore back out there after throwing 2 innings where he faced the minimum. He'll be facing the bottom of the order. Calvillo, Esquivel, and DeFazio due up. But first it is Calvillo, who is 1 for 2 on the day with a base hit and a ground out. First pitch out of the windup, a curveball for a called strike. 3 flyouts, 2 groundouts, and a pop out thus far for Spencer Gallimore. 0-1, fastball, it misses up. Rio going into his senior year at CSUN. Previously played at Gonzaga and Ohlone. Is the 1-1 to him is a slider that misses down in the dirt for a ball, 2-1. Played at Ohlone for 2 years on the left side of the infield, where he won 2 Coast Conference titles. Made a run at the state championship as he offers, but did not go around, at the 2-1 fastball by the hands.
Man, Cam and I shared a field at Folsom Lake College for one of those championships.
Here's the 3-1, swung on and popped up and out of play.
They were one of those teams when I was at Palomar College. We saw Ohlone come in and go, oh, we don't want to play these guys.
Yeah, rightfully so. Calvillo, in his time there, with a slash line of 344, 449, and 494. 30 home runs in his 2 seasons. That one is ripped on a line and right at Ardois for the first out of the inning. 89 miles an hour off the bat, but right at the ankles of Sam Ardois for the first out.
Yeah, it's a funky angle because Ardois is getting in his step. He's sitting in an athletic stance, and you kind of have to sway to your right and get your glove in the right position off the ankle. And when it's coming at you that hard, if you're Sam Ardois, they call it the hot corner for a reason. No time to think, just glove it. That's exactly what Ardois did.
Now it's Chris Esquivel. He watches a first pitch fastball for a strike on the outer part of the plate. Played 3 years at the Division I level, now in the portal. He waits the 0-1 and swings and misses at a slider. Scissor kicked, but cannot make contact with that one. Very quickly it is 0-2 to the 8-hitter wearing number 8.
You know, we talk about attacking with like Ryan Featherston and Bryce Johnson. Spencer Gallimore does that too.
Another slider. This one misses away.
He's really good at getting up on hitters. Strike 1 first of all, but then getting 0-2 on these guys. This is one of the best offensive teams in the league too.
Blues have held them to 0 runs in 15 innings as the changeup floats up and out of the zone for ball 2. Seeing Esquivel at second base today, but he's a utility guy who can play anywhere on the diamond. So that one is fouled out of play. Had a rough season this last year with the Gales. Only got 13 at-bats. 2 hits, no extra base hits, and an RBI. After that season, he hits the portal. He's only recorded 56 Division I at-bats in 3 years as he watches that one for a ball right around the hands, and the count runs full from 0-2 to 3-2 to Esquivel. Here's the payoff. Swung on and flown into center field. Racing back on it is Raymond. He flips his shoulders, takes a few steps to his right, and grabs it for the second out of the inning. Pretty well hit ball, but Raymond able to track it down.
That's a good play by Raymond, and something you work on a lot if you're an outfielder is turning your hips one way and having to make that adjustment to turn around the opposite way and still track that fly ball. It's harder to keep your head on the ball while turning your hips. So in this case, Raymond had to have his hips open one way, facing the right field line, had to turn his head from right to left and flip his hips around. That's hard to do to pick up the ball immediately, especially with this high sky.
High sky and a lot of wind pushing it to the left as DeFazio watches ball 1. Fazio 1 for 1 in today's game, a base hit in the 4th and a hit by pitch in the 2nd. Second offering is popped up into shallow left field. Murillo will call everyone off and grab it for the 3rd out of the inning. Gallimore 3 innings, 9 batters faced. That's the minimum as we head into the bottom half of the 7th inning. Blues lead it 5-0 on the SLO Blues streaming network. Leading off will be Gavin Smith, followed by Caruso and Raymond against the new pitcher number 7 for the Walnut Creek Crawdads in that many innings. It's Cam Krogan, the Wave from Pepperdine, who this last season had 27 appearances, an 0-2 record in 20 2/3 inning, a 16.5 ERA, 16 strikeouts to his 16 walks.
On the topic of strikeouts, Gavin Smith has struck out swinging in his past 2 plate appearances. Really trying to straighten that out.
1-1 misses inside, and it's 2-1. This summer for Krogan, he's thrown 12 innings, 12 1/3, excuse me, with a 2.19 ERA. His swinging and missing is Gavin Smith. 8 walks to his 8 strikeouts. The issue throwing strikes. He has Smith in a 2-strike count, but pulls that slider away, and it runs full. Smith, one of just 3 batters for the Blues today who have not reached base. The other 2, Suzuki and Constantine. As he swings and misses for strike 3. Full count strikeout for the new pitcher, Krogan. Sits Gavin Smith down for the 3rd time on strikes today.
And like I said, that's been an issue for Smith this summer, racking up those K numbers. He has struck out 3 at-bats in a row. 0 for 4 today as left fielder from Harvard.
Now it's Charlie Caruso, who on the other side of it has 3 walks today. Not put the ball in play, but has been productive, scored a run as well as those 3 walks. The first pitch is spiked in the dirt for ball 1. One to Caruso. It's inside. It bounces off the umpire's right arm. Everyone will disperse and give the umpire a couple of seconds to recoup. Caruso heading back for his 2nd year with the Wildcats at Northwestern. Didn't see any action this last year. Originally from Pasadena down south, as the athletic trainers are going to check on the home plate umpire, make sure he's okay.
That one's a stinger for sure.
Blues lead at 5-0. They have 6 hits in this game. All 5 runs came in the 4th. That inning started with Charlie Caruso, who walked. Raymond then walked. Ardois scored both Caruso and Raymond on a double. Gavin Constantine grounded out. Murillo scored Ardois on a single. Lopez singled, and that moved Murillo all the way to 3rd. And then a flyout and a 2 RBI double from Tollerman gave the Blues their 5 runs. That inning ended with Gavin Smith, who just struck out. 16 innings that the Blues have held the Crawdads scoreless. It's come at the hands of Ryan Featherston and Riley Marcotte yesterday, and today Charlie Ferris and Spencer Gallimore. Pure domination on the mound, and good defense by the Blues, who have recorded 0 errors in their last 2.5 games now, as the 2-0 is a fastball that misses outside, 3-0.
I'm wondering if that is kind of a sign that the Blues are turning a corner this summer with back-to-back games and no errors.
3-0, ball 4. 4th walk of the day for Charlie Caruso, and you get the golden sombrero title when you strike out 4 times. What is it when you walk 4 times?
Good question.
I mean, he hasn't put the ball in play, but he hasn't had to. He's being really productive for his team, just continuing to draw walks. That on-base percentage is going to shoot through the moon. Now out of the stretch for the first time is Krogan, as he throws a slider to Raymond that misses down by the back foot. Raymond 1 for 2, base hit, stolen base, walk, run, strikeout. 1-0. Fastball that's called a strike on the outer corner. Caruso off first after walking. Slide step to the plate. Fastball buckles the knees but misses inside. To Andrew Raymond playing center field today, with Royal getting the day off, who is usually the everyday center fielder and leadoff batter. 2-1 misses away, and the count runs to 3-1.
What would you say the opposite of a sombrero is? Pants? Socks?
Shoes.
Shoes?
Golden shoes.
You could say the silver shoes.
There you go. That one is hit back up the middle off the foot of the pitcher, Krogan. His throw over to first is not in time. An infield single for Andrew Raymond. That one returned to sender.
Yeah, right back off the feet of the pitcher, Krogan. And he's got an indentation in his silver shoes as Raymond rips it right back for the infield base hit.
Not hit all that well, but kind of was just hit perfectly. If that ball gets past the pitcher, it's probably at least an out at first. Bouncing off the pitcher's shoe, kicked it away, and Raymond has back-to-back base hits in his last 2 at-bats, and that brings up Sam Ardois. Also is 1 for 2 today. Only difference, he has an 2 RBI double. Blues looking to add on some insurance runs in the 7th. The first pitch from the stretch is a fastball for a called strike. Ardois has played pretty consistently for the last couple of days, but it's just bounced all around the lineup. Yesterday was 6th, the day before 2nd. Before that it was 8, where he is today. 8 the day before that. And so just bouncing up and down. 5 on the 29th. Dean Traynor still trying to find a constant lineup for this Blues team, who has been rolling as of late. As the 1-1 to Ardois is fouled off the mitt of the catcher, Climbs.
We talked about the opposite field approach for Sam Ardois. The way his swing is designed almost looks like he would be a pull side hitter every single time, and certainly he hits the ball hard that way. But the times he's been clutch and gone for extra bases and driven in runs, it's been the opposite way.
Here's the 1-2, misses away. I think it's a combination of 2 things. One, I think hitters or pitchers are realizing that they don't want to come inside to Ardois, because if you come inside, he could pound a ball over the fence. And 2, you must be taking some lessons from E.J. Royal, who has some really good opposite field power. This one, 2-2 slider that Ardois hits off the hands and fouls back.
These are guys that are in the top of the order together. I'm sure they share some words of wisdom with each other, especially EJ, who is now done playing college baseball, now trying to play at the indie ball level.
Here's the 2-2. Swung on and lined back up the middle for a base hit. Caruso is going to get stopped at third. He had to go back to second, thinking that Medem might have caught that ball. But instead, it's a base hit. Everyone moves station to station, and the bases are loaded for Gavin Constantine.
Like we said, opposite way, up the middle falls in that category too. You talk about influence from E.J. Royal. That's where he lives in BP. His swing is designed for that. And that's exactly where Ardois did. It was a tough read for Caruso at second. Didn't get the great jump, the best jump going to third, because he thought Meta might have caught that.
Constantine trying to produce in front of 1,008 fans. That's today's final attendance, as he watches a strike on the outer part, a fastball that clips the zone.
What'd you put?
I put 1081.
Oh, that's a good guess.
Yeah, not too bad. The 0-1, that one is spiked. Gets behind Clibes, and Caruso's going to come in to score with ease this time. No play at the plate. Can't get called out right there. A wild pitch scores Charlie Caruso. Everybody else moves up 90 feet as well.
Yeah, Raymond moves to third and Ardois over at second base. That's the second run of the day. Caruso has scored. Make that 6 for the Blues as they shut out the Crawdads.
So Charlie Caruso has walked 4 times in today's game and scored twice. Been productive for the Blues without putting the ball in play. As Constantine, in a 1-1 count, watches a fastball that misses low. This one trapped by Clibes.
I said 11-24.
Yeah, I saw that. I figured that was a little high. A little bit different, a little bit smaller of a crowd than yesterday was kind of my thought. Waving and missing at that fastball on the inner part is Constantine.
I think I saw 1,500 in there.
Oh, Jesus. For those of you who don't know as well, we all guess. At the end of the day, the top 3 get named as the 2-2 to Constantine misses low and the count runs full. But our ticketing office director, Ben, he also tells us who had the worst guess. It's always funny. We get to laugh. Someone said 1,800. No way. 3-2. Sliced through to the right side. Pump fakes at home. Foot race. And Constantine is out. Good play by Younes. Pump faked at home and then flipped it over to the pitcher, Kroger, for the second out.
Yeah, that was one of the more complicated plays you'll see because Younes did not have good footing on that pump fake. He was moving to his right on that ground ball, which was hit very softly to the first baseman. He really had to charge that one while also not trying to run over it. And in the process of moving, he pump faked it to the first or to home and had to turn, spin around, and flip it to the pitcher who got Constantine out at first.
Constantine now 0 for 4 as Diego Murillo steps in and watches a slider that misses up in the zone for ball 1. Murillo today has recorded 2 hits and an RBI, as well a walk and a strikeout. Scored a run in that 5-run 4th inning as he slices that one the other way, and it's going to be dropped by the second baseman, Esquivel, and that'll go as an error. The Blues score another run on an E4. Esquivel couldn't glove that one in the air. Blues catch a break and score another run.
A second error of the day for the Walnut Creek Crawdads, and it's a costly one. Raymond coming in to score from third. Lopez advances to third base, and Murillo reaches for the 4th time today.
Blues have already tacked on 2 insurance runs here in the 7th inning, and Sebastian Lopez is trying to make it more. Murillo off first, Ardois at third. Raymond just scored as Lopez watches strike 1.
Something's in the air for these Blues right now. It's a little reminiscent of that 10-game winning streak they went on to end the season. 50-50 stuff just goes their way somehow.
The 0-1 to Lopez is fouled off. Slicing that one out of play. Very quickly, 0-2. Kroger is ahead of Lopez, looking to get out of this inning. There's a pitch. Check swing. Didn't go around. No appeal. It's 1-2 to Lopez.
That was awfully close. Just a little above the zone. Seabass triggered a bit, but didn't go around.
Lopez, the Red Hawk, slides out of the way of that one. He almost got hit, and the count evens up. Deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs with 2 runners on in a 2-run inning for the Blues. Here's the pitch. Behind Lopez, but somehow caught by the catcher, Clives. Lopez works it all the way back to a full count. Mo 2 to 3-2. Murillo will be off from first. There he goes. The pitch is swung on and fouled back. Three-two again, and it's swung on and missed by Lopez. He strikes out for the first time in today's game, but the Blues get 2 runs and extend their lead in the 7th inning. It's 7-0 San Luis Obispo, heading into the 8th on the SLO Blues Streaming Network. The lefty Trey Johnson will lead it off as the Crawdads trying to climb back in this game. They're down now 7-0 heading into the 8th. They have 6 outs offensively left to try to bring this one back as Gallimore's first pitch fastball is popped into shallow left center field for a base hit. Gavin Smith will glove it as Murillo and Smith both grab their hats. A leadoff base hit on the first pitch for Trey Johnson.
Gallimore is no longer perfect. Had 3 perfect innings out of the bullpen, and that hit from Trey Johnson ends that streak right here to lead off the 8th inning.
There's a group of about 6 Blues pitchers standing around the bullpen mound with manager Dean Traynor as the pickoff move to first is not in time. Now it's Medham, who's 0 for 3. Ground out, fly out, pop out. First pitch to him is hit right back up the middle. Gloved by the pitcher Gallimore, and nobody stands on second base. It's going to go as an error on Spencer Gallimore, but he made an incredible play to glove that, and then both Murillo and Constantine just stopped about 2 feet from the bag and watched it roll into center field.
Man, we got to talk here, man. We're playing college baseball. Got to communicate up the middle, especially when you got your shortstop and leader, Murillo. You got Gav Constantine there at second base. Have to talk on those balls. That's inexcusable.
And it shouldn't even be a conversation. It's Murillo's ball,
right?
100% of the time. He already has the momentum going to first base. So Gavin Constantine should just retreat once that ball is gloved. First pitch swinging is Joey Donnelly, who fouls it away.
Man, that is frustrating for Gallimore. That was a great play, a hot shot right back to him on the comebacker. Gloves it perfectly, had plenty of time to go to second base.
Yeah, that is extremely frustrating, not just for Gallimore, but for all the Blues. They'll look to bounce back from it, now 2 on with nobody out via a bloop single and an error. Change up that misses away. 1 ball and 1 strike. Donnelly today 0 for 2, a walk, a fly out, and a ground out. He leads this team in a lot of statistical categories, including his .429 batting average coming into today's game as he watches another changeup for ball 2. 27 hits in his 63 at-bats, 19 RBIs, 10 walks to his 8 strikeouts. Fastball misses upstairs. It's 3 balls and 1 strike to the 3-hole, Joey Donnelly. Offering, misses high. Bases loaded now with nobody out. Gallimore walks a batter after the detrimental error. And Dean Traynor is going to come out and talk to his pitcher.
Man, this is no fault of Gallimore right here. I think Trainor's just going out there and letting Spencer know and reassure him that that is the case. This is not his fault right here. Instead of there being 2 outs and the base is empty, they're loaded with no outs.
There is 2 arms getting loose for the Blues. 1 lefty, Omar Reynoso, and a righty, who I believe is Kate O'Hara. Double barrel action in the Blues bullpen. Both arms just starting to get loose, just playing some catch with their catcher. Dean Traynor retreats to the dugout. And it'll be Brandon Clives, with the bases loaded and nobody out. First pitch swinging is Clisby. It's on the ground. Murillo will only have a play at first, and a run will score as the umpire takes a tumble.
Just trying to get out of the way of that throw. That's an athlete right there. The run does score, though. Blues get 1 out, 2 runners in scoring position. And ideally, on a ground ball like that, if you're the Blues, you wish that was hit a little bit harder so Murillo could flip to second and they can turn that double play. Instead, if it's a slow roller, and Diego has to go to first base just to get 1 out.
Clisby retired on the RBI ground out. Second time he's grounded out to Murillo, as in steps John Ewens. First pitch from Gallimore to Ewens is a changeup that swung on a miss. Pulled the string on that one. fall for a base hit. One run is going to score. Here comes the second. It's going to be cut off. The throw to second is in time. Ewan's slide was about a foot short of the bag. Constantine had to flip all the way around to apply the tag. It's a 2 RBI single. The bases are empty, and it's now a 7-3 ball game.
What Ewan's tried to do there on that slide into second base, tried to do a little pop-up slide at the last second, try to get the swipe and a miss on the tag that time. Instead, it backfires, and it just gives more time for Constantine or for Murillo to apply that tag and get out Ewans.
Here's the first pitch to Ellis. It misses down. Great communication from the catcher, Caruso. I could hear him from all the way up here yelling out 2-2-2, telling his cutoff to A, cut it off, and B, then throw it to second base. Here's the 1-0, excuse me. It's a called strike. 1-1. Ewans has his first hit of the day. Keeps his hitting streak alive. 1-1 is lined hard but foul. Ryan Ellis led the CCL in doubles and stolen bases. That was some 3 years ago now. There's the 1-2. It's blocked by Caruso. 2022 season. That would have been my first year in the CCL as an intern with the Stompers. Back with the Crawdads. Back for his third season. He did not play last year, as 2-2 does not miss by much. The Arizona native previously played up in Moraga, now will be attending UT Arlington. He already just attended UT Arlington as he lines that one the other way for a base hit. Raymond will cut it off and get it in. It'll be a 2-out base hit for Ryan Ellis.
Yeah, now the Crawdads are starting to figure out Gallimore here after that blunder on that baseball that no one touched to second base. Dads have rattled off a couple of hits, 2 in a row from Ewans and Ellis.
We're seeing the massive impacts that error had. Instead of instead of 2 outs with nobody on, it ended up being 2 on with nobody out. It's the first pitch to Cam Calvillo is a called strike. Calvillo 1 for 3 today. Base hit sandwiched between a ground out and a line out. Line out was hit well, 95 off the bat, but just right at Ardois' feet. Here's the 0-1. Slider that misses away, 1-1. Gallimore is a two-way guy. Hasn't seen a lot of action at the plate this year as he throws a slider that loops in for strike 2. Hasn't seen a lot of action at the plate, but when he does, he's perfect. 3 for 3 with 3 singles. On the mound, he's been a plus reliever for the Blues. Fans bellow for their hot sauce. 1-2 does not miss by much, and the deuces are wild.
Yeah, our technology had that one as a ball, but you're right, didn't miss by much.
We'll have to do it again. See if he can get the strikeout in the 2-2 count. Here it is, swung on and fouled. Calvillo battling to stay alive. Esquivel is on deck, looking to get his opportunity. That would only happen if Calvillo reaches base safely. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Move over to first, not in time. Scampering back is Ryan Ellis. "2-2" is not off the plate by much. Very, very close, but a little bit up and out. Count runs full. Calvillo works it from 0-2, 2-3, and 2. An open stance, waggles the bat above the right shoulder. Runner goes, swung on and fouled. Long at bat here, looking at pitch number 9. Excuse me, this is going to be pitch number 8 from Gallimore to Calvillo.
It's a quab right there. Quality at bat.
This summer, Calvillo, the 250 average in his 28 at bats, only 3 walks. Runner goes again. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Gallimore gives up a couple of runs, but gets out of the inning with a 4-run lead. And the Blues bats are back up, looking to make it even more in the bottom half of the 8th inning, which is brought to you by Studio Design Group Architects. New pitcher is Micah Billings for the Dads, as I remind you that this half inning is brought to you by the talented team at Studio Design Group Architects. Whether you're designing or renovating, let the talented team at Studio Design Group Architects help you imagine the space as Kosei Suzuki pops out on the first pitch in foul territory. Visit SDG.com or SDGarchitects.com for more information.
Yeah, Suzuki first offering he saw Ewan scaling the fence in front of the Blues dugout, crashes into it, makes the grab. That's a good play.
1 pitch, 1 out for the new pitcher, Micah Billings. Kosei Suzuki is now 0 for 5. ZT will come in. Base is empty, nobody out. He had an RBI double in the 4th. Outside of that, pop out in the 1st, walk in the 3rd, and a strikeout in the 6th inning. .1-0 from Billings, misses outside. Billings is the Laney College up in Oakland, California, and has recently committed to Jackson State as the 2-0 to Tollerman is swung on and missed for strike 1.
Hey, congrats to Micah. That's what these summer leagues were for. He's making his 4th appearance this summer. Has only pitched in 2 2/3, 3 strikeouts and a walk. Small sample size.
2-1 is foul. Just foul. First bounce was right on the chalk, but it snuck outside the base. Last year at Laney, Billings was a utility guy. Saw some time at the plate. The 2-2 misses high. Lost control of that one, didn't come down on it hard enough. Payoff is swung on a hit. Hard, but foul. Tollerman hit that one on a line with some top spin and hooked foul.
And that was punished right there against the first team All-Bay Valley Conference pitcher in 2025. I think he broke his bat too.
CT's going to have to get a new piece of lumber. I believe he broke a bat last night too on a single that he hit in the 8th inning.
Yeah.
Put some pine tar on the barrel. And now he's ready. The umpire collects a few balls from our bat boy today. And we'll also return to the dish. Tollerman in a full count has a new black bomb bat. 3-2. Misses upstairs, ball 4. Tollerman goes to the dugout to get a new bat. Doesn't need it. Draws a walk. 1 out base runner for Gavin Smith. One of 3 hitters in today's lineup who has not recorded or has not got on base.
Yeah, a trio of strikeouts for Gavin Smith. Just trying to reach any way, anyhow, or at least put it in play. I want to avoid that golden sombrero as much as possible. Smith is a bit streaky. Sometimes you'll see him make a real good barrel on a ball and find a gap, and he's really clutch with runners in scoring position and 2 outs too. Today it hasn't been so much the case for him. 3 strikeouts and a ground out to third.
Takes a first pitch that misses away. See if Smith can get himself in a hitter's count. 1-0 is fouled back. The ace is free. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out with a runner on. The Dads got 3 runs in the top of the 8th. Cutting into this, what was a 7-run deficit. Dads are now in slam range, trying to keep it there. 3 outs remaining offensively. Stepping off is Billings. Out of the stretch, the 1-1. Smith triggers, but then has to move out of the way. That one up by his hands for ball 2.
I think we'll have a pinch runner for Tollerman too, and it makes sense. He's dealing with some back issues. E.J. Royal comes in as the pinch runner.
E.J. Royal got the day off today, but now will take over on the base pass. It's weird to see E.J. Royal as a pinch runner. It almost never happens. Usually is already in the game. The 2-1, swung on and hit hard to the left side for a base hit. Royal will go station to station. They throw back to second to try to get Royal, but it's not in time.
Pretty close though. E.J. had to scamper back to the bag, and this one was hit hard off the bat of Smith. He finds a gap to the 5-5 hole. Hit pretty well. You got to feel a little better on the base paths too with Royal at second base now.
Royal 180 feet away from taking this game out of slam range with Charlie Caruso coming to the dish, who today has not put a ball in between the 2 foul lines. He has recorded 4 walks, 1 in the 2nd, 1 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, and 1 in the 7th. First pitch, takes it for a strike.
Looking for his big break here. I talked about the baseball guys rewarding you with Sebastian Lopez on his 2 walks. Wonder what they got in store here for Caruso.
The 0-1 misses inside. And I mean, if we're playing by that logic, right, Lopez had those 2 walks and then a base hit as Caruso takes a slider for ball 2. Playing by that logic, 2 walks equals a base hit, 4 walks equals a double?
I like that.
Caruso doesn't have a double on the season, though. He does have a triple that was inches away from being a home run, as the 2-1 is swung on and fouled back. Blues trying to attack the new pitcher Billings with 2 on and 1 out. Caruso in the box with Andrew Raymond on deck. That one hits Caruso right on the front foot.
Is this our dog of the day, Ryan?
I mean, on-base machine. looking through it. It's probably Ardois, right now.
I think so.
A double, another base hit, and a walk, a run scored. Charlie Caruso's putting up a good battle, though, even though he hasn't put the ball in play. First pitch to Raymond, misses high for ball 1.
Give my boy a chance, man.
You know, Andrew Raymond could make himself a good case right here with a knock.
Sure could.
1-0, misses inside 2-0.
Already 2 hits on the day. Scored a run. 2 for 3 with a walk. Scored 2 runs, actually.
Yeah, stolen base. 2-0, misses down. 3-0.
What if he walks?
It's an RBI.
Sure is.
See if he gets the green light in the 3-0. He doesn't. It's a fastball right down the middle. 4-1. Still in the driver's seat is Raymond with Royal on third, Smith on second, and Caruso on first. Pitch is swung on and hit well into the right center field gap. This one's going to get down for a base hit. Royal scores with ease. Smith scores with ease. A 2 RBI single for Andrew Raymond.
2 RBI single, baby.
The dogs are barking, and he might have just jumped everyone for our dog of the day.
That was crushed by Raymond. Finds barrel in the right center gap. Driving in a couple. Nice swing from Drew. That was money.
The Blues offense is 2 runs away from their largest offensive production of the entire summer. Here's the first pitch to Ardois. It's a called strike on the outer part. Andrew Raymond comes up big. He's recorded a hit in his last 3 at-bats. And when I look at the production from Caruso, Raymond, and Ardois, today, as Ardois fouls that one off, and it's 0-2. Those 3 guys today have recorded 6 walks, a hit by pitch, 4 singles, a double, and 4 RBIs. They've only recorded 2 outs, and they both came in the second inning. Choking up is Ardois as he watches that fastball up by his eyes for ball 2. Ball 1.
That was hit number 10 on the day for the Blues. Double digits.
Runner goes. It's fouled off by Ardois.
Man, that was a good jump, too, by Drew.
The bat boy will retrieve the ball as Ardois taps his helmet and gets back in the box. Ardois, a guy, much like his teammate Marcotte, former teammate, who committed last night, looking for a new place to play. The 1-2 is swung on and fouled back. Another slider right into the netting.
Good response for the Blues, too, right? A 3 spot in the top of the 8th inning, the first time the Dads have scored today. Respond with a couple of your own, and you still got some time with 1 out.
Ardois watches that fastball down for ball 2. Ardois not known for drawing walks this season. This includes today's game. He has only recorded 4 as he swings and misses at the fastball for out number 2.
A big out there for Billings, trying to get out of this inning. Big strikeout to Ardois. That's his second of the day.
Now it's Gavin Constantine. He is 0 for 4, a couple of strikeouts, a couple of ground outs. Has an opportunity to right the ship with a runner on third and 2 outs. First pitch, swung on and missed. High heat. Constantine couldn't lay off of it. First strike 1.
Good looking Shetta there. Got another run 90 feet away.
It's the 0-1. This one misses outside. 1 ball and 1 strike to the second baseman in today's game, who made a stellar play defensively. Diving to his left and then threw all the way across the diamond to third to get the runner who was trying to go first to third, as that curveball catches his own for strike number 2. The 1-2 to the Bonnie is swung on and missed for strike 3. Third strikeout swinging for Gavin Constantine, but the Blues tack on a couple of runs and make it a 9-3 ball game heading into the 9th inning. They need 3 outs to win on the SLO Blues streaming network.
Ninth inning.
New pitcher for the top of the 9th inning in a non-safe situation. It's Cade O'Hara with the Blues leading by 6. He will come out and try to close the door on the Crawdads and give the Blues their 5th win in a row. O'Hara pitched on the 4th of July game. Finished that game out in the 9th inning. 2 hits, a run, and a strikeout that he gave up in that inning. He'll have to face Skeevil, DeFazio, and Trey Johnson. O'Hara is ready. Skeevil is ready. The first pitch from the windup is a called strike. 90 miles an hour to Esquivel, who today is 0 for 2 with a walk and a couple of flyouts. 1 to Raymond, 1 to Suzuki, as he swings and misses at that fastball for strike 2.
Cade looking good in his 8th appearance of the summer for the Blues. 10 Ks in his 12 innings pitched.
0-2. Slider that misses away. Good spot in the 0-2 count. Didn't get an offer from the second baseman. Working very quickly. There's the 1-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Blues will throw it around the horn on the slider from O'Hara. First strikeout of the day. First of the inning, and the Blues are 2 outs away from winning every game on this homestand.
And O'Hara just put Esquivel in a blender right there, working quickly, the fastest any pitcher has worked today. Finished it off with that slider, and Chris went fishing.
Now it's Nico DeFazio, it's going to be a pinch hitter for the Walnut Creek Crawdads. Is Riley Leininger, who we saw in yesterday's game. He swings at strike 1. Second pitch misses away. Floater. Couldn't find the zone. Yesterday, Leininger went 0 for 3 with 3 groundouts. Here's the 1-1. Buckles his knees. And the fastball with some run. Didn't clip the zone. 2 balls and 1 strike.
And tried to place it on the inner half and was hoping it would run towards the strike zone. Didn't break enough, though, for O'Hara.
2-1. This is down. O'Hara tries to pull the string, but doesn't get a swing from Leininger in his first at-bat. Took over defensively a couple of innings ago as he rips that one high and deep to right field. Going back on it is Suzuki, and It is foul.
That was punished.
335 feet foul. 100 miles an hour off the bat. And I couldn't tell, Nate, did that ball get over the wall?
Yes, homeward around ballpark.
Only 330 down that line. 320, excuse me. So got that one out by 15 feet, but just a couple feet foul as he hits that one. Very similar spot, but this one off the end, popped up into shallow left and grabbed by Constantine for the second out of the inning.
I think Cade O'Hara will take that result over what could have been a home run.
Yeah, you gotta get back up there as a pitcher and say to yourself, that's just a long strike. That's all that was.
Yep.
And it got him to a 3-2 count, and then he was able to get a pop-up. The ball was hit literally like almost the exact same spot, but just off the end. Didn't quite have the power that the last one did for Leininger. Now it's down to Trey Johnson. We're looking to start a 2-out rally where the Crawdads need to score 6 to continue this game. Here's the pitch. Fastball for a called strike. 1 ball and 1 strike to Trey Johnson, who's 1 for 3 today. A base hit and a run in the 8th, a walk in the 2nd, and then a ground out in the 1st, a fly out in the 5th. 1-1. Slider misses inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Skyline Community College native fouls that one back, originally from Walnut Creek. Blues are a strike away. Cade O'Hara from the windup looking to end this game and give the Blues their 5th consecutive win. This one misses low and the count runs full. Fans bellow. Swung on and hit well into center field. Going back on it is Raymond. He will camp under it and make the grab for the 3rd out of the inning. The Blues win 5 in a row in a rout of the Walnut Creek Crawdads. Back-to-back sweeps of the Arroyo Seco Saints, the foes from down south, and the Walnut Creek Crawdads, foes from north. This game ends in 2 hours and 53 minutes.
That's a great win for the Blues. How about a home sweep, huh? Feels good for the soul. Only 1 error on the day for the Blues as well, so not quite that 0 mark we're looking for, but look what happens when you minimize them. Blues get 2 days off in a row, and they have to go down to Santa Barbara to play against the Sturs.
Blues will take a win regardless of how many errors they recorded. A win is a win at the end of the day. That's their 5th in a row. So let's take a quick look around the rest of the CCL, see what's shaken. Menlo Park Legends beat the Alameda Merchants. That's a big win for the teams below them in the north. The Stompers play the Seagulls later tonight. Sturs and Saints are in the top of the 10th, tied at 4. Outside of that in the north, that's kind of all the news. The Menlo Park Legends and the Merchants actually have a doubleheader up at Kenyatta College today. So the Blues will get at least a full game on the Merchants, maybe even more with the doubleheader. And they're in prime position now to be a playoff team in the north after 5 in a row.
So at this point, if you're a Blues fan, you want the Merchants to win that game against the Legends?
No, you would definitely want the Legends to win, probably. Because the Legends, as long as the Blues continue to win, the Legends can never catch up.
Right.
But the Merchants need to fall so the Blues can continue to climb higher and higher in the north.
Yes. So, I mean, that's what's going on right now, correct, in these games. So, yeah, I mean, a 5-game winning streak for the Blues. Dog of the day, Andrew Raymond.
Come on.
Book it.
Book it.
Great day for Drew, man. I mean, what we got here? 3 base hits, driving in a couple of runs. 2 runs scored for Drew, a walk. Have a day for the center fielder. Let's get that Polaroid up on that board there.
Yeah, also tacked on a stolen base. He will go down as the 14th dog of the day this summer. The Blues record improves to 21-12 and 14-11 in CCL play. As getting the win in today's ball game is Charlie Ferris, who threw a good 4 innings, didn't give up a run. Gallimore with 4 innings, and Cade O'Hara finished it out. As the Blues, like you mentioned, will travel down to Santa Barbara on Wednesday before coming back for 4 in a row here at Sinsheimer Get your tickets at bluesbaseball.com. But for now, you can catch Nate on the road on Wednesday. He will have everything, the balls and strikes for you. And the Blues tack on their 5th win of the week. That'll do it. Ryan Giacomini, Nate Mills on the SLO Blues Streaming Network. Have a great rest of your evening.